In French, in France, we would say baguette.
Anyway, lead on. Allons-y, but not too fast. All right, let's go.
Hello, friends. Welcome in. How are you today? Happy Wednesday and or Thursday, depending on when it is for you. But welcome in. I have a tale to tell today. It's gonna be fun. But let me just double check that everything is working, and then we will begin. But how are you all, everybody? How are you all? Let's see. That looks like that is working. I have a meeting at 4:30, so hopefully you lead with the story. That's an hour, right? No, 2 hours. No, an hour. That's an hour. Yeah. We'll get into it. All right, I think we're good to go. So let's go ahead and move on over. Hello, everybody. Welcome in. How's it going? Let me lower the music for myself. A little loud for me. Brad, you were first. Welcome in, Brad. How are you? Sassy, welcome in.
Is this a murder? Or am I hearing yes?
Yemit, welcome in. Hello. Hold on. I guess, yeah, we can do that real fast. We can do that. Yemit, how are you? Oh, wait. I'm already swatting them away. There we go. I just knew they were coming. It's one of those days. Gilmore, welcome in, Gilmore. And Blue. Blue, how are you? Always good to see you in Iron Pucks' stream. Always good. Brad was there yesterday. It's very fun. Me waiting to find out what the oopsie was. That's a perfect peepo. As long as there's not a warrant out for your arrest. There isn't yet. You've gotten away with murder. You've gotten away with the oopsie, right? Exactly, that's what we call it. I have a meeting. I committed oopsie today. I have a meeting at 4:30, so hopefully you lead with it. I'll do my best. Having a much better day today than yesterday. Got some better sleep. Oh, that's good, Sassy. I'm glad. Brad was not sleeping yesterday, but it was still good to see him over there. But how are you all? What have you been up to today? Emmers, question. Do you work this weekend? Do you have work on Saturday? 28,000 points. 22,000 more, then I'll get my interest out. Nice. I don't believe so. Nice. I have, by the way, everybody, I have a big announcement on Friday. Big announcement on Friday. You will want to be there. Probably. Also, yeah. You'll want to be there. But I don't know exactly when it's going to start. But I do have an announcement for Friday. Big stuff. Big stuff. Big stuff. Big stuff. So I think you guys want to be there. It's only Wednesday. I'm done already with this week. This week feels like it's gone 5 years. I actually went to bed last night at 10 p.m. instead of waiting until 2 and 0 nightmares. We love someone who sleeps and who also has 0 nightmares. We love that. It's Wednesday and we had Monday off, and I'm already done with this week. I keep thinking tomorrow's Friday, right? And then I'm like, no, we're still Lemon. It's Wednesday. We're having that interaction right now. Val, big stuff. How was your birthday, Val? How was your birthday? But yeah, big stuff on Friday. Announcement. But yeah, we're having the, wow, what a week. Lemon, it's Wednesday conversation right now. Wednesday, you mean it's not Thursday? No, D&D, no. Yeah, yeah, I keep thinking it's later on the week, but oh well. Valk, I hope you had a wonderful birthday. Everyone, let's celebrate with a fist bump. Valk, I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful birthday. Thank you so much for being a part of this community. If you would like a fist bump, please go ahead and punch your screen on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, wha-bam. It was good and chill. Went out for dinner and to vote, and otherwise got to relax and watch the new Guardians of the Galaxy. How did you enjoy it? I watched it the other day, and I really enjoyed it. I cried a little bit, to be honest. I teared up, I think, in multiple points, but this was the day after Venba, so I think it was still after. I was still a little, still a little emotional. But Valk, I hope you had a wonderful day. Thanks for being a part of this community for so long. Let's see, you followed. It was during the Risen King, but that was October of 2021. So that's crazy. That's crazy. You're about to hit 2 years. Insane. Wait, did I do? Wait. Yeah. October 2021. Yeah, that's how you math. Yeah, it's almost 2 years. I did too. My partner really cried, so I don't feel judged. Oh, good. It has been a while, I know. Started a new character and a new campaign on Monday. Very different from Blueford. What's your what kind of what class and stuff did you make? But friends, I made an oopsie today, and so I have a story to tell you about how today went. Don't be mad. I've been playing a lot of Tears of the Kingdom during the busy parts of work, doing lots of random quests and finding fun loot. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. We'll have to continue more of Tears of the Kingdom. I just don't know when. There's just not enough time. I'm so excited for D&D talk. I play on Friday and we're adding a person. Oh, that's awesome. That's so awesome. Seems like a lot of people are talking about D&D right now also because of Baldur's Gate, which just came out. Which runs on like basically D&D 5e with like some tweaks to make it more video gamey, and so that way you can't just like spam abilities. But seems like a lot of people are really enjoying Baldur's Gate. It's a wizard only campaign, Harry Potter based. Oh, that's fun. That's got to be so fun. I've never been a part of a campaign that we were all the same thing. I think that'd be dope. Like an all rogue party, I think would be so much fun. We would completely get destroyed, but that'd be dope. I keep wanting to DM or play some D&D, but I have no time. Time is, yeah. Indigo, is that your wizard? It's a good name for a wizard, if that's the case. So, my friends, I have a story to tell you about how today went. For those Indigo's your wizard. Okay, perfect. Nice. That's a good name. So for those that didn't hear yesterday, after jury duty, I called the juror's office to report that two of the jurors had, particularly one juror, but like she was talking to somebody. Two of the jurors had been kind of talking about the case, and over the past couple of weeks, if anyone said anything, it was just kind of very generic, like kind of a like a general observation, but not one that was like, I'm leaning this way or I'm leaning that way on the case or whatever. Yesterday, as we were leaving, one of the jurors said something that was like way more specific and very like, as if they've already made up their mind, blah, blah, blah. You're not supposed to do that. One, you're not supposed to talk about like the details of the case, but two, you're for sure not supposed to like, I mean, I'm sure you make up your mind as you're learning information, but to be very definitive before the case is over is probably a no-no. And I'm sure a lot of people get to that point, but you definitely don't want to communicate that to people. Like, I already know which way I'm thinking, because that influences the other jurors in a way, because there's like also like mob mentality and all that kind of stuff. So if somebody's like, I think this person's innocent, then other people might start looking at everything from that lens, or like they might start looking, or if they say the person's guilty, or that you already know which way you're going to vote or whatever, they start looking at things from the way. So you're not supposed to say anything. But I kind of let most of the things like over the past couple weeks kind of go by because I was like sort of general observations. Nobody's really like engaging with it or whatever. But when I was leaving yesterday, there were two people and they were like talking about it. And so I was like, I feel like I need to at least mention it. I don't know if this is like, of what they were saying specifically is a big enough deal that like the office needs to know or do something, but I'm just gonna let them know just so that, you know, they know. Plus also I kind of have this like fear of, well, if they find out later that something like we were talking about something or two, like other people were talking about something, that they might be like, well, why didn't why didn't you all say anything, right? Because then it's gonna be like, why didn't I say anything? So I just was like, I'm gonna be proactive. So I called the office and I said, hey, don't know if this is important, but saw, you know, these two jurors, they were talking, they said this and this, and I don't know if that's like, you know, don't know if this is a big enough deal that I need to mention it to you, but whatever. And they were like, no, that's fine. What we're going to have you do is you're going to come in early today, so Wednesday. We're going to have you come in early so that we can just kind of get more information, all that stuff. We're going to have you talk to the judge and the attorneys so that they, like, can hear what was said and all that sort of stuff. So I was like, okay, great, excellent. I will be there early, and because I needed to get there early before any of the other jurors showed up, right? That's basically me, though, Brad. I was definitely Krungo. But I was like, okay. So anyway, I mean, I wasn't nervous, but I was a little anxious, right? Like, there was a little bit of, like, I think I made the right decision, but I also, you know, if someone says anything about, like, we're going to talk to you and it's going to be on the record, that's, like, there's something about that that's, like, a little frightening, a little bit. And so I was just a little, like, not nervous about it, but I did go over like, okay, let me just remind myself what I'm gonna say and all that sort of stuff. So anyway, I, after working kind of late and hanging out at Pucks and working and watching the stream and whatever, I went to bed, set my alarms, and I woke up and I was supposed to get there at like before 9, like right before 9 a.m. I woke up, but not to my alarm, but to light from outside hitting my face. And if you can imagine, that means that I woke up late. I immediately grabbed my phone, and it's 10 something in the morning. And I'm like, oh no. I look at my phone. One, I'm like, did my alarms go off? I don't even remember. Like, I can't remember. I set like 10 billion alarms. And I don't remember any of them going off. But I do have a tendency to either turn them off, but I think my phone, Hannah, welcome in. You're just coming in on this story where, if you remember from yesterday, I know you were here when I explained what happened yesterday. I woke up late this morning. I was supposed to get to the courthouse before 9. I woke up and my phone said 10 a.m. Or 10 something. And I was like, oh my gosh, I think I had set my iPhone to focus mode, which I have it set up to where it like ignores all notifications when it's like that. I've been using it when I'm at the courthouse so that nothing's coming in while I'm like sitting there. And I don't know if I just maybe didn't turn it off from yesterday, or if at night I had somehow activated it or something, but I didn't hear any alarms go off. But I so I grab my phone, I see the time, and I look, and I have like 5 missed calls from numbers I don't know. And each of them have left messages. So there's like 10 missed notifications, and I am like, oh no. Like, this is literally the worst situation to happen, especially because I had just called them yesterday to report something about the jurors, and then I don't show up at all, and I'm not answering my phone in the morning. So I immediately, like, that looks so bad. Like, that, did you die? Well, I mean, they think you're dead. They probably do. Like, it probably looks like someone like got to me, or something bad happened to me, or whatever. So I immediately, like, I just tap on the first number, or the last number that had called. So it was like within 15-ish minutes, I think. And because they were calling me about every 15, just about. And I called the last number, and I'm expecting to hear the, like, I forget what her position is, but she's like sort of like an office clerk type person that answers the phones for like a specific judge or whatever. There are ones for specific judges or whatever. I'm calling like the judge's office. Or that's what I think. I'm expecting, because that's the person I talked to. It was the judge, wasn't it? No. I hear a man's voice, and I couldn't understand what he said. It kind of like, he said it very quickly, and I was like, hello? Because again, I just woke up, so I'm like very groggy or whatever. I can't understand him. He says something kind of fast, and he's like, "Is this Jet?" And I say, "Who's this?" Because I didn't recognize the voice or anything. I was like, "Who did you say this was?" And he asked me again, and I was like, "Wait, I'm sorry. I just woke up. I have overslept. Who am I talking to?" Because I was like, did I just call like like, you know, because sometimes I'll get like scam callers or whatever, and so I thought, oh, maybe did I accidentally call back one of them? Like, did it just so happen that it like coincided with all these other calls? And he was like, "This is State Trooper so and so. I'm trying to locate Jet. I've been tasked to do a wellness check on on Jet." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I'm okay. This is yes, that's me." I am dying. I was like, "I am so sorry. I just woke up. I was supposed to be at the courthouse like so early. And I completely missed my alarms. I am going to call them. I am going to be on my way. I am so sorry. I'm totally fine." And he was like, "Okay, I just wanted to double check." I know, seriously. They were sending somebody to come check on me. But I then immediately called the office, and I was like, "Hey, I am so sorry. I just woke up, missed all of my alarms. I am so sorry. I what do I need to do?" I was like, "I'm so sorry. I missed the meeting. What is happening?" And so, she was just like, "It's okay. Can you come down to the courthouse?" I was like, "Yes, I need to take a shower real fast." She was like, "Just put on a hat." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Oh, well, I guess you can't wear hats in the courthouse. Just take a quick shower and then get down here as soon as you can." So I did, and I showed up, and they had, there's typically somebody waiting for you, like, there's somebody who waits for the jurors to let them in, and that guy was waiting for me, and I was like, "I'm so sorry." As soon as I saw him, I was like, I am so sorry. so close to a warrant, kind of. That's why I was like, you're not too far off. So I make it in there. They put me in a room, like a separate room. And I was kind of like, I don't know what's going to happen at this point. I was already kind of nervous about like the meeting in the morning. Now I'm like, now I have to also explain to them like it, because it also looked, there's so many options of like how it could look bad, right? Like, so one option is that I died or someone killed me, someone intercepted me, a whistleblower juror, kind of. So there, I mean, it could look like I was murdered. Wait, my detective, my blank was for sure detectiving. My detectiving was for sure you were late, slept in because I saw you at Plex chat late. No, I honestly, well, I was working on stuff anyway. I would have been up, but I think, I don't know. I think honestly it was because my phone was on focus mode or whatever it was, because I didn't hear any alarms. So anyway, yeah, okay, so it looks bad because I could have, it could have been like this juror who tried to come forward with something was murdered. He's dead now. Or it also could have been like I reported something falsely and then felt so bad or whatever that I just didn't show up, right? Like I'm just trying to evade the courthouse or something. So like it looks bad in so many different ways, but I finally get there and I'm so apologetic, but they bring me in. Oh, but okay, so what time do you usually? It depends. It depends on the day, but it's usually after 9 at some point. So I think one day it was like I needed to be there at 10. A couple times it's been 9:30. They've asked us to be there at 8:45 to like be ready to go in at 9, but I needed to be there at 9 today. And I told them that I would try to get there early. I actually said I would be there at like 8:50, and I showed up so much later. But they put me in a separate room. So you would have been late regardless. Yes. Yeah. 100%. Yeah, we've never started that late. Actually, when I was passing through security, one of the people, they're like, "Oh, what time are you guys starting today? 11?" and I was like, "No, I slept in. I completely missed my alarms." And they kind of chuckled at me, and I was like, "I hope I'm not being arrested." Anyway, they put me in a separate room, and they brought me into the courthouse, or the courtroom. Sorry, the courtroom. The attorneys are there, the plaintiff and the defendant is there, the judge is there. It's like a normal sort of situation, and except for there's no jury. I'm the only one sitting in the juror's box, and they have like a mic, and so they started asking me questions. They actually didn't ask me about being late, which I apologize at the end of it, but they just asked me questions about, have you heard jurors talking about the case, blah, 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 blah. What have you heard, that sort of thing. And so I just kind of gave them the information that I had told them the day before, told them about the 2 jurors that I overheard, and they said thank you for letting us know. They asked me, do you think that hearing and they've asked this question before, but it was when we were all kind of getting started. They would ask you piece of garbage. It's Snang. What is that supposed to? Wait, what? What does that mean? Snying. Oh, wait, it's snow raining where you are? What? That's crazy. That's awesome. So, Shady, I'm telling a story about what happened in the courthouse today. I actually woke up late after, I don't know if you'd heard this part, but some stuff happened yesterday. And so I had reported something to the courthouse and I was supposed to meet them early. I instead decided to wake up like 2 hours late. And so I just didn't show up. And so they sent a state trooper to come find me. Anyway, it's been a day. But they asked me questions about what I had heard. But towards the end, they had asked like slushing. I like that. They asked, like, does this affect your ability to be impartial to this case? And they had asked us that when we were all doing our like juror stuff at the very beginning. Like, they would ask you questions like, oh, you know someone who's been to jail, or like, you know somebody who's faced a robbery or whatever, like whatever the case may be. And then they would ask you like, is that going to stop you from being impartial or whatever? State trooper call. I'm so glad I was able to call him back before he got to my home, because that would have scared me, I think, even more. But and I was like, no, I don't think so. In fact, I was like, I'm taking so many notes throughout this whole thing that I'm sort of like in my own zone, I think, when it comes to that stuff. But I was, and they said, okay, and this was good. I felt reassured in this. The judge did say, in fact, I feel like you coming forward and like bringing this whole thing up shows that you are, like, you're putting like fairness and the law and whatever kind of first then in this kind of case. So it almost kind of affirms that you can stay impartial and whatever. And I was like, yes, thank you. Thank you for saying that. Yeah, I was basically like, no, I'd like everything to be fair and all that sort of stuff. And what she said, so, okay, we'll get there. She asked if any of the attorneys had questions for me. One of the attorneys said no. The other attorney asked me a question, but it didn't. It was kind of just like, did you hear any people say anything about blank? And I was like, no. Then they were done. They were like, you can go now, and just go back to the room with the other jurors. I was like, I am so sorry for waking up late. I cannot, like, this is legitimately the worst timing for this. I am so sorry. And she said that she was like, it's okay, it happens, blah, blah, blah. But it's like the timing of it is honestly terrible. So like any other day, like if I were late, that would have been a thing. Like, that's just like, okay, it's fine. It wouldn't have been maybe as big of a deal, but the fact that the day before I had just reported something to them, and then they don't hear from me after 5 calls, like trying and leaving messages, it's just a very weird situation. So I get back to the room and they're all sitting in there. Because, I was like kind of surprised. I thought they would have just gone on with the case, or with the trial. I thought, because when I called, the assistant person said, oh, they're on the record right now. And so I was like, oh gosh, they've just like gone without me. So I guess I'm not going to be on the jury now, like, because I've missed testimony or whatever. But they send me back to the jurors' room and they're all sitting there. And I was like, hello. They're like, oh my gosh, where were you? I was like, I overslept. I just got in. And whatever. They did tell us. So there's like a bailiff person who like escorts you to the jurors room. He said not to talk about what they had discussed in there and all that sort of stuff. So, but I was like, I was like, I'm so sorry. I don't know if you guys have been like what you guys have been doing, but I so sorry. And one of the other jurors said that they had actually nothing with the trial had happened yet today. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. And they're like, no, they've actually been questioning us one by one. And I was like, oh my gosh. So they had been one by one pulling jurors in to ask them questions about if they had been discussing the case with anybody. And so they had, so that's what they've been doing all morning. And so when I asked, how long have you guys just been waiting in here? And they said, since like, well, they got done doing the, Jed is such a homewrecker. I totally just changed up the day. They'd been waiting in there since like 9:45 or something. They had gone through all of the jurors within like 45-50 minutes or something. So I was still like, they were still waiting there for a little bit, but I was like, I wasn't that far behind, but they had talked to everyone at that point. And I guess it was about probably asking them if anyone had discussed information with the case and probably with people from outside, or if you had heard any other jurors talking about it or whatever. Then after a few minutes after I got back, they called back the two jurors that I had mentioned to them over the phone the other day or yesterday. And they also asked me about them in the courtroom this morning. They took the two and excused them. So they're no longer a part of the jury or whatever. And so, yeah, so that was something. And I was kind of like, part of me actually, even yesterday up till all of it, I was like, I wonder if they're going to excuse me, like for like, even if I didn't necessarily do anything wrong, but because I kind of like heard them talking about it, like, is that a problem? But I was sort of like, well, the judge kind of affirmed that by me bringing this whole thing up probably shows that I'm already kind of impartial or whatever. So the argument is probably that I can stick around. So we got back into the courtroom and they said, so now welcome in, all part of the Foreman plan. There can only be one, or there can be only one. I think that's the phrasing. So now welcome in. How are you? So, we need 12. We had 16 starting off at the very beginning. One left, really early on, like after the first day. Then we just had 2 leave. So that's now 13. So that means there's only one alternate now. And they told us at the end of, well, okay, so when we got in, they said, just so you know, we excused 2 of the jurors. What was taken up by ninjas? They're like, just so you know, we excused 2 of the jurors. This should emphasize the issue of do not discuss like the details of the case with other people. Do not talk about how you're feeling about the case. Like don't tell somebody you're already thinking you're going to vote in a certain direction. Like you're not supposed to do that. So they're like, just know, like, do not discuss the case amongst yourselves until deliberations begin, because you have not heard all the evidence, you've not done all of that, so you can't be already forming an opinion on the, the outcome or whatever. Because she said that, like, had this come up later, or like had maybe the attorneys found out or something like that first, like they can, like the defense can then try to appeal the case even based on like jurors talking amongst themselves or whatever. So what I had to go back. I always think of Lost whenever I sometimes will say we've got to go back or I've got to go back, and I think of Lost. Anyway, that was very affirming then in that way, because it was like like this, we needed to sort of like figure out that whole situation and then like basically cut those jurors out, so that way we can continue and we can now say that like everything is fine, this has been addressed, the jurors know not to talk about like the case amongst themselves and whatever, so you know, less likely a chance for them to try to appeal based on that. So it had been a day, but I believe I'm going to be officially a juror because, like I mentioned, we now have 13 people and there's going to be 12. There is one juror who does, she's a native Alaskan and does subsistence hunting. She already has a plane ticket and trip booked and stuff for this weekend. And so they said that they were more than likely going to excuse her tomorrow, because they said the trial is going to end tomorrow. It should be closed, and then we will have the case will be ours to then deliberate over. But she was like, now you have to show up, talking to the lady, she was like, you have to show up tomorrow. Don't show up. Don't not show up. You have to be here tomorrow, but more than likely you'll be the one who's you'll be excused. So then I should be on the jury. So yeah, which means I don't actually know. So that's why I was like, we have a big announcement on Friday. Big announcement on Friday. I think you guys are gonna like it. But I don't know when stream will begin, because when we deliberate, we can basically go all day. It could go 8 to 5. We can also choose our schedule, so maybe it'll just be fine. I don't really know. A big announcement. Remember yesterday he said he'd tell me what it is? I don't remember that. That's weird. Yeah, anyway, that's that. So I don't know what the schedule's gonna be like. We actually may even be done with the trial totally. Well, probably, maybe not, because I guess it depends on how long it takes them to close tomorrow. So yeah, I don't really know. We might. So as jurors, we can pick out our schedule, like for when we're deliberating. So it could be something that's just could just be mornings or whatever. So I don't know. That, and you've basically proved your impartiality to the judge. Yeah, well, I mean, I still could have been an alternate, I think. But it seems like because somebody already had some plans beforehand, and they wanted to kind of also respect sort of the probably some Native Alaskan traditions and all that kind of stuff. They wanted to honor the trip that she had, and so yeah, so I'm fairly positive I'm on the jury, but I don't know what the schedule is going to be, so I'll let you guys know. But there should be a big announcement on Friday. Big. Were you asking if I was working Saturday so that I'd be around for the big announcement? Yes, because I didn't know if you'd be able to stay up later, but you might also be busy on Friday. Oh, we'd had some trouble with that. So I just didn't know if you would be around on Friday evening or Friday afternoon for a big announcement. Big, huge, giant announcement. So, you know. That's why I was wondering. But anyway, so that was the journey today. I pretty much, like, profusely apologized for the entire day. Gargantuan. It's a big announcement. I think you guys are gonna be hyped. Or maybe not. That's also an option. Maybe you're just not. Are you gonna be around on Friday? He hasn't denied it. I am not pregnant now. Pregnant. Excuse me, pregnant. But big cat or big frog? You guys will have to decide. But big announcement. Big. I love that new Twitch Global emote. I'm glad they added it. They should add some more animated fun stuff. Anyway, that was my journey. Cog. Like a giant metal wheel. It just comes barreling down. Oh, cat frog. I see. But yeah, Emmers, are you gonna be around on Friday? Friday evening? Friday afternoon? Are you busy? Are you busy? No, I'm free. Okay, perfect. Excellent. So yeah, anyway, Cat Frog was my favorite Nickelodeon spinoff. Honestly, same. You've heard of Cat Dog, but have you heard of Cat Frog? Let's see. Oh, I was also like, I think I told this to Pucks, I think. I was like, my biggest question is like, so the danger of all of this is that they could have, like, if it was bad enough, this must be something. It is something. And I think you'll like it. But if like the, hold on. Excuse me. If the jury talk had been like way more prevalent, or like way more just like rampant, like people just being like, I'm voting blah blah blah, or whatever. Thank you. They could have like deemed it like a mistrial, right? Like they could have just said, we're gonna have to start over and whatever. And so I think I told this to Pucks yesterday. I was like, if they deem it a mistrial, the thing that I'm honestly the most worried about is I really hope I still get paid. Like, how does it, if it's a mistrial, do we all just like not get paid for our time? How does this work? I will not be here Friday. I'm actually going camping. Ooh, to watch the Perseid meteor shower for a couple of nights. That's awesome, Gilmore. And bless you, Brad. So I'll be driving to our location. That's dope. And this big something is a different something than the something you've hinted at before. Yes. There was another big announcement that I'm still waiting on. But I can't really, I don't want to announce it until like it's done. Which they've told me that it's still happening, but I don't know that. But I think it is. So I'll have, once I know the other thing, you guys will know the other thing. But this big announcement is something, it's something else. It's another big thing. I'll have to watch when I get back. Yeah, absolutely. That'd be fun. I'm sure I'll post something about it in the Discord or whatever. That was one of the questions that was asked at trivia yesterday. About the Perseids? How was trivia? How was trivia night? Was it like a pub trivia? Too many big announcements to keep track of. We need better code names. Yeah. We came in second. No, Brad. Code Frog versus Code Cat. This is, I see. The problem is I would have to just choose some random words because I don't want to give you guys any hints as to what the big announcements are, you know? So, Because I know you all. I know you will try to figure it out. I'd be fine with that. Well, the thing is that one of the announcements can be done. I think we're fine. I don't know if we need code names. Just know that there's a big announcement on Friday. We can call it the Friday announcement. The big Friday announcement, official name. And then the other one can be we can just call it the other big announcement. That's its official name. Code Friday. There we go. I think you guys will be very excited. I think you guys will be happy, and that peace will be brought unto the earth, and that you know, puppies will Stegan Code 5 for Friday as the 5th day of the week. Stegan Code 5. It'll be the height of it'll be the best moment of your life. I'm not trying to talk this up, but you will never have a better moment than this Friday. They could have all been, oh, you know what? That's a good point. I do kind of like that because it fits my general vibe. The case of, but the thing is, again, by doing that, you kind of have to specify what it's the case of, right? Just know it'll be fun. But I don't know exactly what time we're going to start because of jury duty. I should find out probably tomorrow, like an expected time, just because as the jurors will have to discuss what we want our schedule to be. I do think we have to go in on Friday. But I just don't know when. I imagine most of the people that I'm with are like, aside from like 2, are like 8 to 5 workers. They might want to start early. So like we might want to start early in the morning and then like break around lunch or break in the afternoon, and then I don't know. Found an old iPod that I'm gonna wipe and put my audiobooks on. Ooh, what kind of iPod? Is it a touch or is it like a nano? I have an iPod Nano that I still keep in my car. I don't use it though. Codename code, codename code, and codename name. That just certainly won't get confusing. Codename Kids Next Door. I need a nap, but it's too late in the day, Gilmore. It's never too late for a nap. Never too late, unless you expect to go to sleep at a normal time. Then that's fair. Then it is too late. But I take naps all the time. Sometimes I'll take a nap at like 9 p.m. and I'll say, this is fine. This won't make me late to jury duty. If I want to sleep in a normal time. Yeah, okay, then that might be a problem. You're right. You're right about that. Gosh, today was crazy. I honestly thought, like, part of me was like, I'm not gonna get arrested, am I? for being late to jury duty. Again, I feel like normally the situation wouldn't call for something like that, but I don't know. It felt like I just woke up from a nap. Ooh, we love a nap. I hope it was a good one. But yeah, so it was a big oopsie that I made today. So, you know, friends, I wonder if they did the whole movie thing of calling all the hospitals and stuff. I don't think they were there yet, because I think they probably, if they had found me not at home, that probably would have been what they did next. The assistant person said, we just wanted to make sure you weren't in like a car wreck or something like that. Granted, my first thought was, they think I've been murdered. So I'm glad that wasn't the case. We plan to nap during the day when camping so we can, that makes sense. Well, I hope you have clear skies and stuff for the Perseids. But gosh. I have a little bit of beef with the Perseids, honestly, but I don't know if I'm gonna tell you guys that story. But just know I have beef with the Perseids meteor showers. I have beef with them. Oh. Well, now I want to know. I know, but now I don't want to tell you. La 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 la. You have beef with a meteor shower? Yeah, I do. I have beef with a meteor shower. Story time to go now. I think I'll just keep this one to myself. I have beef with the entire meteor shower, in fact, but can't get it. I can't get into it right now. Me just shaking my hand at the sky. Anyway, old man shakes fist at meteor shower. So, how was y'all's days? Did anything exciting happen? Did you have a state trooper call to come find you? Really, the best part about this is to know that I'm wanted, you know? That somebody cares, even if it's just the courthouse. Anything fun? Anything exciting? Oh, wait, Blue, did you not hear that? Or wait, are you talking about the meteors? You were here for the start of the story, right? Not much, nothing too exciting. You did? Oh, nice. I played only one game yesterday, but I spent most of my time in the firing range, just running around as Revenant, trying to kind of get the hang of him. But I didn't play a lot of Revenant before, and I don't think I'll play a lot of him still. I don't like him. I don't like him. Oh, the meteors. Oh. Maybe it's a story for another time, probably. I was watching some old Apex clips I have stored on my console. I used to play so amazing. I'm so old. I bet you still do. I bet you still do. Nah, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I did hear that, I don't know, Hannah Na, if you're still around, I heard that Fuse is getting the next heirloom, which I'm excited about. I don't think I'll get it, unless I get some more shards, but... What? Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, so they've been looking in the code, and they found lines that reference... Is this tomato talk? What is tomato talk? Oh, heirloom? Like heirloom tomatoes? No, so an heirloom is a special weapon in Apex, where it's like you have to buy it with monies, but it replaces your character's like melee attack. Tomato. Could also be for skins, true, but this actually has so this mentions his heirloom weapon, and it's called I forget what it's called. It has a name, but it's definitely gonna be for his weapon. Heirloom. Anyway, so it looks like he's gonna be the one getting his weapon. I believe they already found that Revenant is actually getting the heirloom skin this season, which I think is dumb. They're doing why so much Revenant this season? He just got a rework. He got a new launch bundle. All this other stuff. Now he's also getting the heirloom skin or the mythic skin. What do they call it? Mythic skin? He's getting the special skin, but at least Fuse is gonna have his heirloom. I forget what it's called. It's something Razor something, or no? Can't remember. I bet I can find it. Hold on. Razor's Edge. That's what it's called. Yes. So I'm interested to see what it is. There was no description of it. Someone took it way literally and was like, I bet he's gonna have like a shaving razor. And I was like, what? Like an old school one. But I was like, still like, what? I think the cord I have for this iPod is near shot. What is like the USB cord or the like your earbud cord or whatever? I would love if his melee weapon is just a tiny shaving razor. I mean, he has a mustache, so like maybe it would make sense, but like I don't know. I would love for it to be a boomerang. I think it should be a razor, like a sharp boomerang. Would love that. So that's the only heirloom I have, Zona, is Mirages. I have more heirloom shards, but I'm waiting for Mirage's like mythic skin or whatever it's called. So if I get some more, then I'll look into some of the other stuff, but yeah, maybe also use like if you have some like rubbing alcohol, maybe try like just running like a cotton swab over the connectors or something. I don't know if that works, but I got lucky with a loot box. Oh, that's awesome. But you see, I think so. The suggestions I've heard in the past for Fuse's weapon skin is a beer bottle, a bat with nails on it for some reason. His real arm. If Fuse is missing an arm, has a robotic prosthetic. Someone said that they want him to use his real arm as a weapon. I was like, I don't think so. That seems odd to me. But that would be amazing. I doubt they'd go in that direction. Yeah, I kind of agree. Like I love Mirage's award. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Award weapon. It seems like a lot of people don't like the joking ones. Is from what I've understand. A lot of people actually think he has one of the worst, and I'm like, you guys are awful, and I hate you. No offense, but I hate you. What, really? Yeah, a lot of people don't like the joking ones.
Yeah, baby.
Oh, Pons, welcome in. How are you? They got no taste. I know. I love my Mirage heirloom. I think it's one of the best. It fits his character so well. He's got like, I love when he's like, he's raising it up and it's like the little fireworks are going off and then he like, it falls out of his hands. I love that. It makes me laugh. And sometimes he'll say something and then it like shines and he like boops it on the nose or whatever. I don't know. That would be amazing, Zona. It fits his style. It does. Opons, how's your day? How's it going? And he complains the entire time. That would actually be very funny. Also, the new Revenant select screen is intense. It's intense. I was like, wow, okay. Anyway, But yeah, so apparently Fuse is getting the next one, so I'm very excited to see what it ends up being. But I really hope it's I want it to be a boomerang, because he's Australian, well, or space Australian, and it'd be kind of cool. I kind of imagine it, the way I imagine it would look sort of like Gibby's, where it's not like, because Gibby has like a little hand axe thing, but it's not like, you know how it has like cutouts, like very futuristic cutouts on it? That's kind of what I want, is like a boomerang that has like cutouts, sort of. Like, so it looks futuristic. You put some hologram, like blue light stuff, kind of like in the in-betweens or whatever. I don't know. Space Australian, yes. That's one of the things that makes me laugh about like certain parts of like sci-fi games like this, because it's funny, because like so last season, so one of the characters is named Loba. She is supposed to be from, or she's listed as being Brazilian, but I assume that means like space Brazil. Like, I don't know, no one ever talks about Earth in the game or in the Titanfall universe, so I assume she's like space Brazilian. There is I love that. It's shady. So get around for a meeting, have a good one. I'll try to come back later. Brad, I hope you have a good one. We'll see you next time. Hope you have a good meeting. So she's like space Brazilian. Because I remember, so people were talking about, and I thought this was an odd choice. In game, she has a tendency to speak more Spanish than she does like Portuguese. And so some people brought it up, like, that's kind of odd. Like, she's listed specifically as being Brazilian, but doesn't speak Portuguese. She speaks Spanish. That's true too, yeah. Which again, part of it's like, okay, I mean, I suppose Space Brazil could also speak Spanish, and that's probably fine. But I could understand wanting the representation and being like, that's kind of odd. Like, it's an odd choice, maybe. So now she kind of does both. She kind of seems like they haven't replaced all of her Spanish lines, but she kind of does both. But they did add some where she's speaking Portuguese. But Space Zillion, Spazil. But anyway, so Fuse is Australian, but again, he's from Space Brazil, and then there's another character who's from Space New Zealand. So Space Zealand, New Spaceland, New Zeal Space, Space Spain. But I like that. I mean, honestly, I love that they have characters from all over. It's just very funny to like imagine, how does that work? Like, I don't know. You see, I think that's kind of why I really love the Expanse a lot, because in the Expanse you have Earthers, Martians, like, so people who colonize Mars from Earth. But then you have the Belters, who pretty much all books or show. I've only watched I've listened to one of the audiobooks, but I'm not super, I haven't delved into the rest of the books. I really like the show though. Love the show. Space Mum from Space Scotland. Yes, there's Space Scotland, Space France, Space Korea, Space Japan. Mirage is just kind of like generic, general. He's just a general human. Space Mexico, yes, exactly. Octane is definitely from that. I shared your drama with Mr. Panda. He is very concerned for your safety. Oh, really? Well, I appreciate that. People who colonize Marth from Fire Emblem. Yes, there you go. So, what I love about the Expanse, what I was going to mention, is the Belters, who all live in, they just live kind of on space stations and stuff. They're sort of all very, like, mixed in terms of, like, their origins, even from Earth. And so the way Belters speak is, like, a mix between, like, Cajun and like I can't remember what other influences they had in their language, but it's like even in the show, what's cool is like they'll toss in belter words as you're like, as they're just kind of talking, and you might not fully understand, but you can kind of guess based on the context and all that sort of stuff. But I find that really neat that it's like they've all kind of become their own, you know, group of people and whatever, because they've lived in the space stations for generations and all that sort of stuff. So they don't really like Earth, they don't really like Mars. They're kind of, you know, their own faction. And that kind of makes more sense to me that the language would blend a bit more. Instead, we have like it, you know, Fuse has a very like strong Australian accent. Watson has a very strong French accent. And it's just like, so there, in my mind, there is like, there must be a space Brazil, right? Like there must be a planet that's just like, it's just all Brazil. It's all Brazil now. Blowing out the 30-pin port seems to have fixed the connection issues. Nice, that's awesome. Just sucks that I can only have one book at a time. Wait, how big is the iPod? Is that what's wrong? Like the storage space is too small? No, I mean, I mean like, what's the hard drive size? Anyway, I would be very curious. I wonder, I'm sure that, well, I don't know. Oh, Ponce, you should ask some of the people who've worked on Titanfall and stuff. Like, is there a space Brazil? And a space Australia? What's funny is, like, I'd imagine even those places then are very different from, like, their countries of origin. So, like, imagine, like, space Australia could all be, like, an ice planet, for all we know. 2 gigs. Okay, yeah, I guess that, yeah, it makes sense for, like, an iPod, but I honestly want a planet named Space Brazil. Oh, Ponce, I need you to get me a meeting with, like, the people in charge of, like, Titanfall and Apex universe lore, please. I had to pitch them my idea of Space Brazil. No Man's Sky, next planet. I know, actually, that's when I said Ice Planet, I was thinking of No Man's Sky. Listen, we got some good ideas. It reminds me of the Adventure Zone, where anytime they need to handwave something, it's just fantasy Costco. I love that. Fantasy elevators. I'm working with a lot of OG Titanfall devs on this FPS. It's been awesome to just chat about. Oh, no way. That's dope, Opons. I love that. You can tell them about my idea of Space Brazil. I just want to know, like, I don't know. It's funny to me. I mean, obviously there's probably not much of like an explanation. It's really just they want representation from actual places and have them represented in the game. But still, I want to imagine that there's Space Brazil, Space Australia. And obviously that is what the planets are called. And like, I don't know. Yeah, it's just representation. But I want lore. But I want lore. It can't be that difficult to just say, sure. You know what? Yeah, Loba's from Space Brazil. There's a planet out there. It's called Space Brazil. Everyone there speaks Portuguese, and that explains that. And a little bit of Spanish. They also know Spanish for some reason. It's all right. This will be enough to get me by till I can get my school stipend and buy MP3 4-player 8 gig space command up to 1 terabyte for $80. Yeesh, that'll be awesome. Yeah, Opons, we do. He gets like nothing, despite being in a lot of the like he's in a lot of the trailers for things, but he's like, I don't know, we don't ever really They don't really get it, like, into his past, really. I feel like the last time was they showed him... One of the trailers that showed him tinkering on some, like, equipment as, like, a teenager, maybe, and I think his mom was there. I feel like that was the only times we've gotten, like, some... Or maybe that's just even, like, a loading screen. I don't even know if that's... I feel like it was in a commercial, or in a trailer, though, or some kind of video, but... At the end of the Earth's life, humanity united to fire all the continents into space. That's it. I love it. I'm loving this. He's shot and he's like killed in every trailer. Goodness. Oh, that's what it was, Opons. Yes, the Seer trailer. Yeah, so I don't know, but he needs more lore. He needs stuff. Sad that he's not getting the mythic skin this season. So I guess maybe it'll be next season, maybe? If we get some Mirage lore? We'll see. Womp womp. I tried playing as Revenant for a match. It's just not my thing. I'm not a Revenant main. I'm fairly positive. He's actually one of the characters that I've played the least of, so I don't know. I'm not a Rev main. But new season started yesterday, and so I'll be playing more ranked soon. Gonna be playing some more ranked soon. Very excited. That leap is so weird for me. I think that's... I actually thought... I think it'd be cool if there was like... I don't know. I kind of wish there was some way you could damage someone by leaping at them, or if like you targeted I kind of wish you could target somebody with the leap, but I don't know. I enjoyed the new kit. Needs a UI element. I agree. That's what I thought too. Yeah, I tried when I was in the firing range. I was like, oh, there's no like, because you're like, I don't know. I mean, I guess you wouldn't use it to really engage at somebody. Like, you would kind of use it to close a gap, maybe. I tried pouncing on the dummies. Yes, same. Because that seems interesting to me, I guess. But then I'm like, oh, wait. So really, if you did that at somebody, you're just like a easy target. It's not worth doing that. So you would need to, it's either use it as an escape, maybe, or to close a gap, or to, like, do something. Or reposition, but... It also takes like 3 seconds, I think, to get the full leap distance or whatever, but... Another issue I had, and maybe this would change with use, I'm sure maybe the mains will get used to it pretty easily. I kept on either overshooting where I wanted to land, or like, I wouldn't even make it that far. So I maybe even just some kind of approximate, like, if you let go now, this is kind of the distance you're like about to get to. Like, that would be kind of nice. Because it's hard for me to visualize. Even when it's fully charged, I was like, okay, so, and he's just like, all right, I'm ready. And part of me was like, how far am I gonna go? I don't actually know. It's supposed to be about the length of the Octane jump pad, but still, I was like, I don't know. Look, I'm just gonna stick to my decoys, okay? I know my place. I just bamboozle. Bamboozling is my favorite. And I will continue to bamboozle. I'm excited though for the season. I don't know if I like the charge rifle yet. The new version of the charge rifle. I kind of miss the hit scan. But I don't know. We'll see. A fun fact that if you guys don't know, for the people who play Apex, I know this is very boring for people who don't. I apologize. But it's too late. And I'm already in on it. If you need hammer points, you can just go to a crafter and craft the unfollowed. You say that. I'm sure people have before. Stretch. If you need hammer points, my Apex friends, if you just go to the crafter and craft a Mozambique, the hammer points attachment is like separated from the Mozambique, so you can just get that instead. Which honestly is like kind of a good deal. Like it's buying a hop up in the crafter is about the same as like buying one of the guns ish. So seems worth it to me because I run the RE45 a lot. So I don't know. When I heard that, I was like, ooh, I like this. It's okay. You're just background noise while I change my bedding. Nice. Okay, that's fine. Same. Yeah, I love the RE45. Big love for it. A lot of people look down on it, but you know what? It's fine. More for me. Gosh. Anyway, I will say I'm a little sad that next season it's not going to be dive trails for ranked rewards. I think we're getting like a banner or something. Banner frame. Meh. So now I no longer need to carry my laptop to the kitchen when cooking, so I can listen to my book. Just pocket this tiny iPod. What audiobooks do you like listening to, Blue? Are you a big audio booker? Okay, while you answer that, one, I need to go to the restroom. Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn series. I've heard of it. I have never read it or listened to it, but I've heard good things. Mistborn is fun. I'm gonna let you guys talk about Mistborn for a second and other stuff while I use the restroom. So if you would like to stand up, take a break, etc., now is the time to do so. I will be right back. Right back. Alrighty, I am back. Where am I? Boop. Welcome back. Let me catch up here. Let's see. I love reading, but dyslexic and ADHD. Oh, that's fair. Yeah. Audiobooks are good. The audiobooks are great. I just started book 1. Oh, nice. Dinner time lurk. Gilmore, thank you so much for the lurk. Enjoy. And I bought a DM shield and some matte paper for about $20 from Walmart, upgrading the D&D setup I have with my daughter. That's awesome, Blue. No, she's gonna end up peeking behind it. Yeah, having that DM screen is gonna be very helpful. Well, friends, how about we jump into some coffee talk, at least for a bit? Let's coffee. Let's talk. Let's coffee talk. Okay. I've only read the first 15 pages. Hey, it's a start. It's a start. Okay. So we left off really early on. I think we're only in like day 3-ish. We talked to the writer, don't remember her name. We talked to a couple. I only remember one of their names, which was Bailey's, because it's plural for some reason. And then we talked to a police officer. Don't remember his name, but oh no, and we also talked to a vampire and a werewolf. Let's see. I'm sure we can go over the Dachipedia or something. What is it? Toma Dachil. There we go. And that's a new character. We've talked Freya. Okay, yes. So Freya's the writer. She's gonna start writing stories about people at the coffee shop. Georgie's the police officer. He's lactose intolerant. Gala. He's a werewolf. I'm fairly positive. Lua is a succubus. Bailey's is her boyfriend, who is an elf, and they were talking about how their parents don't want them together. And then these are Hyde. Hyde is the vampire. Right. So anyway. We decided that as adults we are allowed to have ice cream for dinner, so that's the plan we're having for tonight. Excellent, love that. Toma Dachil sounds like a superhero name. It does, like a guy with ice power. I like that. I love that. And we be making stuff for peeps. So, welcome. Yo, a cup of honey milk, please. Right away. We got milk. We got honey. More honey. Honey milk? How much honey do you put in? How much? I'm sure it's fine. I don't know how many parts honey, how many parts milk. Honey milk. Excellent. Your honey milk is ready. Thank you. You're welcome. She's on her phone. Freya. Hey, Jet, seems like there's a cat. Oh. Am I covering the cat? Go up here. She got in with me. Relax, it's okay. Hey, kitty cat. What are you looking for? Want some milk? Oh, what? It's a person. I was not expecting that. Where do I go? Just put me on the shelf over there. It's gonna be on the shelf here. The problem is there's like text a lot of time at the bottom, so I feel like I need to be somewhere towards the top. But hi, barista. Yes, I'd love some milk. Holy, you look like you look like you've just seen a ghost. No, I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. It's been a while since the last time I saw a neko mimi. It's supposed to be like mimic or it's been a while since I've seen a neko mimi transforming. We rarely do that in public. I guess you don't have that many neko mimi friends. I won't say I have. You folks usually you folks usually use your feline form to commute, if I'm not mistaken. That's right. Well, commuting as a cat sounds more practical than commuting as a than commuting in a bipedal form. Kind of. Anyway, before we continue, can I have my milk, please? I'm sorry. What kind of milk do you want? Just milk. And no additional stuff or anything? No, milk and nothing else. So, do I even need to brew it, then? Seems odd. The day begins. Have a good one, Shady. I hope you have a great day. Mr. Maverick, hello. I still exist. Well, welcome in. How are you? I hope you're having a good day. I hope she wanted it, like, hot milk. Fresh milk for the lady with the pretty smile. Thank you. Are you hitting on an underage girl? I was just giving her a compliment. Thank you for the compliment. It's really good. You're welcome. What's a young girl like you doing alone this late? I'm not a young girl. I'm a grown-up who can take care of herself. You don't look like a grown-up. What? I'm 18. Yeah, that's exactly what I'd call too young. Well, I'm not an old lady like you, for sure. Besides, I've been earning a living since I was 13 years old, so I'm definitely not a kid anymore. How? I'm sure you know. I don't. Oh my, are you? Just say it. Is this something illegal? Or if you're in danger, well, have a fun few months. Been a fun few months. Sarcasm implied. How are you doing, Jen? You're amazing. Oh, thank you. I'm sorry that you've had some not amazing months. I underestimated how spicy the spicy pizza is. Help. No. What's on the pizza? I do love a spicy pizza. Or if you're in danger, blink twice. Really? With a cute face like mine? Exactly. Seriously, you've never seen me on TV or social media? I don't want to sound like a snob, but I don't watch mainstream media. Snob. Part of the broke but woke movement, I see. You must be the broke part. Lol, wow. What is with some of these people? Some of these people are a little too saucy. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Well, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that hopefully things start getting better. I don't see you ordering any drinks. What, too broke for a cup of coffee? She's not that great for business, no. Oh, really? Sometimes I wonder. Could this coffee shop survive without me? What are you waiting for, Grandma? Make your order. Is this some kind of maid cafe experiment or something? So, what do you want to order? The usual. It's just coffee, coffee, coffee. Yeah, she just wants espresso. She doesn't want milk or anything. Arugula spinach chorizo! I love chorizo on a pizza. Garlic, some other things I put on that I forgot. What's the spicy part? They should be more sassy, less saucy. Yeah, agreed. Your espresso is ready. It's good as usual. Glad you like it. Wait a minute. You do look familiar. Are you in a pop group? Are you Rachel Florencia, the member of Super Smiles who just graduated and started her solo career? Uh-huh. You're not a lost cause after all, Grandma. That brings us back to my first question. What are you doing here? Drinking milk. I'm serious. But you see it with your own eyes, right? I'm really here to drink milk. How come this coffee shop attracts so many weird people? Well, while we do have a lot of unusual customers, this is the first time we've had a famous celebrity visit. To drink milk, no less. Yay, achievement unlocked. We unlocked an achievement. Reach a certain point in the story. Perfect. Oh, it's spicy chorizo. I see. Nom nom. No, seriously, why are you here? Or girl is me in any public place. Just like not trying to interact with anybody. Just staring at my phone. Why are you here? Well, you know, the usual young folks' problem. I had a fight with my father, and so here I am. Ah, I see. But is it okay for a celebrity like you to be out alone this late? You don't need to worry about me. I can turn into a cat. Nah, I'm really worried. Anyway, what happened? My dad, we got into an argument. He doesn't like my line of work. He always saw my profession as something negative. But I love what I'm doing. What about your mother? What are her thoughts on your career choice? She passed away a few years ago. I'm sorry to hear that. It's alright. Your dad know anything about the entertainment industry? He used to work in showbiz decades ago. So yeah, he does know a thing or two. 4 people? It's Georgie. Milk and cats do seem to go together, albeit not IRL, which is weird. That is true. I'm gonna move me just a smidge. Here, there we go. Good evening, Jet. Good evening, girls I've never met before. I just saw you yesterday. Just kidding, Freya. Anyway, Jet. Yes, officer. I need something for my sore throat. Can you get brother a cup of green tea with lemon and honey? Yes. Green tea. We've got lemon. We've got honey. Your special drink is ready. Well, well, well. What do we have here? It's my special cough syrup. What do you call it? Cough syrup? His face. Of course you do. Let's see whether this drink tastes good. It tastes as good as it smells. Dang, that is great. How's your day going? Anything out of ordinary on your patrol? Yeah, anything interesting today? Actually, I witnessed something scary on my shift today. Tell me. You sure you want to hear it? Yes. The scary thing I witnessed was my salary. Seriously? Yeah, today is payday. And I checked the ATM during my shift. Such a horrible sight. Other than that and the labor union protests, everything is fine though. How can you say it's fine? We got a young celebrity lurking around by herself. Ain't that strong proof that this area is safe? Hey. Thank you for the drink and the place to sit. I'm going back now. Oh, thank you for coming. Hope you enjoyed your time. Uh-huh. Bye. Who the hell was that? She just sat there and read. I'm sure that's pretty normal in a coffee shop. Yeah, that's the normal behavior. I mean, you always do that here when you're writing. I guess you're right. Anyway, where were we? Oh, yes. What are you doing here, young lady? It's pretty late, you know. I don't have anywhere else to go, and this place looked cozy. I see. So you basically wanted to go to a bar, but you're underage, right? How did you know? You can read minds now, old man? I have a daughter around her age. It's easy to translate what they say, especially when you have to deal with them every day. I don't know why you're here, but everything's gonna be okay. You can forget all of your problems while you're here. Dude, you're a cop. It's not his job to take care of someone else's daughter. He's a cop. That is exactly his job. Relax, Freya. Don't be so uptight. Yeah, Mr. Policeman here made me feel much safer already. You know it yourself, Freya. This place is very safe. Right, Officer Georgie? Of course, this is the safest place around here. Hey, that endorsement comes with a discount, right? What? Don't look at me that way. You're a cop, old man. Act like one. I deal with crimes and public safety. How should I know how to handle someone else's daughter? You should know. You're a father yourself. Oh, right. Guys, you know I can hear you, right? Really? See, Freya, she has good hearing. That should help her protect herself. Anyway, Miss Rachel, what brings you here? As I've told the others, I had a fight with my dad. Why are you laughing? Me and my daughter fight every day. Hey, why would you say that? Because it's true. I fought a lot with my kids. That's normal. In fact, whenever we finish arguing about something, we become closer as a family. Huh? Because when things have calmed down, I learn something about them, and they learn something about me as well. As long as we don't leave things unresolved, an argument makes things better. But it happens so often. Tonight was just one among countless others. He wasn't like this before it happened. You mean before your solo career? No, before my mom passed away. What happens after each fight? Nothing. We just don't talk about it. Until another fight starts. Unresolved problems are dangerous. It ain't easy. But you gotta understand each other better. And as much as I hate to admit it, conflict is always the best way to know someone. Even your own blood. But it was never this bad when Mom was around. She's the only one who understood me. And she also understood your father. Maybe he and your mom also had arguments, but your mom acted as a mediator between the two of you. That's possible. Now that Mom's gone, I don't have anyone to act as my guardian. And your dad, he lost his best negotiator. Wait a second. You said this happened a lot, but why did you run this time? My daughter never ran away. Wait. Maybe it's because I'm the one who always ran away? Using my job as an excuse. I can confirm that. Yeah, I run here a lot, but yeah, I hate to tell you again. You both gotta resolve your issues. Unresolved problems are dangerous. In any relationship. I kinda understand what you're going through, Rachel. I also ran away when I was younger. Are you on good terms with your parents now? I am. When and how did it happen? To be honest, I'm not even sure myself. It just happened. Maybe I should run even farther. I mean, I have my own income. I don't need to rely on my dad. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. Why? I'm an adult. No adult would ever say, I'm an adult. Just give yourself time to think, Miss Rachel, and try to understand your father's perspective. I'm sure both of you will be able to solve this. Like adults, you don't need to rush to a decision. Not sure about that. Just take your time, but now I would recommend you just go home. It's really late. I need to go home as well. I can give you a ride, but you don't need to talk to your father right away. Just go straight to your room. At least knowing you're safe at home will give him some peace. That will allow him to think more clearly about everything. You're right. You really are a cop, Georgie. Of course I am. So, where do you live, Miss Rachel? In the western part of Neko Town? Oh, that's quite far. You're still going to drive me home, right? Old man. Of course I will. Should I drive you home too, Miss Freya? No, you don't have to. I'm riding my bike. Are you sure? 100% sure. Okay, we'll be off then. Thank you, Jet and Freya. Take care on your way home. See you around, Jet. There they went. Yes. You can stay longer if you want. Nah, it's fine. I also have to call it a day. How's the writing going, by the way? It's getting there. That's nice to hear. I'm juggling a lot of work, though. Barely made my deadlines. I don't know if I can keep this up. Why don't you just come clean? Tell your boss about the publishing offer. Who knows, maybe she'll understand. Yeah, right. Great job, Freya. Here, take some money. Go take a vacation and finish your novel. In your dreams. I'm not exactly employee of the month. You never know. You never know, I might end up on the chopping block. Oh, the pressure. I'm sure about one thing, though. This coffee shop has a lot of stories to tell. So yeah, I'll probably be back tomorrow. The door is always open for you. I bet it is. Okay, then. Take care. Be careful on your way. Some parent-child fights don't work out. Actually true, though. I do say I am more on the side of it's better to address things and have the conflict, you know? I know a lot of people don't like conflict, but I'm more like there's a benefit if you talk about it, you know? But to a point. Both people have to kind of want to work together, you know? Werewolf activist imprisoned for owning illegal Fury sedative. The Orcish Workers Union in talks with the government over their pleas. Rap group Street Orchestra questioned over their pro-eco-terrorism lyrics. We just don't get along. That's fair. Yeah, sometimes you don't, you know? Good evening, Mr. Hyde. Evening. Are you by yourself tonight, sir? Gala is coming after his shift. It's pretty empty here. You're our first customer tonight. Is there something wrong? Nothing. It's just a bit strange for you that you say our. When obviously there's only you here. Oh. I guess it's just me, but when I'm working, I always put myself as the barista and the coffee shop. That's kind of how when I refer to the stream, I often say, we're playing this on Friday or whatever. And, you know, I was just me though. Moved 3 states away after the last one. This is between you and your parents? I see that inability to communicate with my students. They need to be taught how to resolve conflict in a beneficial way. That's true. I was talking to, I think it was in Pux's stream, but yeah, I think I had mentioned that when I grew up, I was very conflict avoidant. I think part of the reason why I was like a people pleaser was that I would try to make everyone happy so we wouldn't have any conflict, you know? And then when conflict would happen, it was always like, it was kind of paralyzing or whatever. But I think one of the things that I mentioned was that since like, I don't know, for like, I've definitely now swapped to the other side of things where I am much more willing to have conflict as well as I'll like initiate it, sort of like I'll not that sounds bad, like I will be the one to be like, hey, we need to have a conversation about this or that or whatever, because I realize like if you leave things unaddressed, then it can make things worse. But I think the thing that I mentioned in Pux's stream was that my family was awful with conflict. They didn't know how to have like healthy conflict, and so I think my interpretation of what conflict looked like was very different from people who have healthy conflict. So it took me a while to understand that conflict can be a good thing, as well as like that there are ways to approach it that's beneficial for everyone involved, yeah, I guess like my parents would get very like very shouty, very accusatory. It was, you know, never their fault about anything. It was always somebody else's fault or whatever. And so like they just didn't know how to have like good conflict. So anytime that I then experienced conflict outside of that, I was like, people are gonna get mad, they're gonna start shouting, they're gonna start saying things that hurt, you know, like that sort of thing. And so yeah, I think that was sort of like my interpretation of what conflict was, but it wasn't until much later that I realized, like, there is a healthy way to have conflict. I got to see people have healthy conflict, and so that kind of helped, you know, do that. But then I sort of realized, like, all right, like, if there's something wrong, you can't just bury it. Like, you have to actually talk to people. You have to talk to your friends. You got to, like, you know, have some of those hard conversations, because hopefully at the end of it, you are either closer together or you know, etc. You can find some kind of resolution. And because I think another, like, it just, how your perspective changes on conflict can affect how you approach it, I guess. I still tend to avoid conflict. Yeah, no longer avoid conflict, but seek resolution. Yeah, so I've heard someone talk about the difference between a peacekeeper versus a peacemaker. A peacekeeper is somebody who does anything to keep the peace, and so that might be someone who's maybe a little bit more people-pleasing. They just want everyone to be happy, and so it's sort of like they won't talk about things because they just want to keep some kind of status quo, peace, or whatever, versus a peacemaker being somebody who's like more proactive and then like addressing the serious things or the conflict in order to then have peace afterwards. And I've sort of shifted, I think, to more of that. Yeah, my mom and I, her version of talking things out was talking at me, not to me. Yeah, and that's the thing, is like at some point you have to realize that, like, if they're not willing to have a conversation, if they're not really willing to have, like, yeah, if they're not really willing to have some kind of discussion, some kind of, and it be sincere or whatever, then you can't really, like, move forward, which is tough. I've mentioned this before. I haven't really gotten into details, but I'm not close to my family. We don't talk. We're not in any kind of relationship, really. And so, and that's been that way for over 10 years, something like that. So, and part of that has to do with how they handled conflict and all that kind of stuff, and a bunch of other stuff that we don't necessarily have to go into. But yeah, so there. I mean, I think it's always good, I think, to try and have resolution. But at some point, you also have to realize if somebody is just unwilling, and especially if they are like, you know, if they have like narcissistic tendencies where it's like never their fault, it's always your fault, or it's always someone else's fault, or whatever, or maybe it's that they just get upset, they get, you know, start making personal attacks or whatever. At some point, like, even I still think it's good to try to have that conflict and have that resolution, but if they are unwilling to do so in like a healthy manner, then you're not going to have healthy conflict. And so it's sort of like, you know, you can only do so much. But same here, still happens often. I just avoid bringing things up, and what I think would be a normal conversation just flips into an unexpected argument. Yeah. It can be hard when, if you feel strongly about something and then kind of emotions start to build up and then, it just becomes more of an argument or whatever. But it takes time, and I think it actually takes practice, I feel like, to have good conflict. I think I've told this story before, but I remember being at a friend of mine's house, and this was just a few years ago, and they were setting up. So we're at my friend's parents' house. My friend has a younger sister who is still in high school, or at least she was at the time, and they were setting up for lunch. I think they were gonna feed us all lunch, and so I was just kind of in the living room waiting. I don't even know what I was doing. I think I was just maybe standing around looking at the window or talking to the mom or something like that. But the daughter, so my friend's sister, younger sister, she dropped a bowl. I think we were gonna have soup or something like that, and she dropped a bowl, and most of the soup, the bowl, it wasn't a personal bowl, but a bigger one, a serving type of bowl. Drops it, and the soup goes everywhere, and there's a big, clatter and clash and glass and breaking and all that sort of stuff. It was very interesting in the moment. I had a very I don't know, sort of a flashbacky type response to it, where I flinched, but also in the preceding moments, I could feel myself being my heart beating, sort of this is where bad things happen, right? I know that if that would have happened to me as a kid, my parents would start shouting at me or something like that. And it was so interesting to see this family because the mom in particular is just very what's the word? Very just nurturing and kind of I don't know, just very caring and gentle. Gentle is the right word. She's a very gentle woman, and where I was expecting there to be a fight or some kind of argument or whatever, she just very calmly she didn't even get mad. She wasn't even mad that our lunch was now all on the floor or anything. She just she helped her daughter clean it up and told the daughter that everything was gonna be okay, and that I think the daughter started to feel like she ruined lunch, so the daughter was kind of tearing up or whatever, and she was it's gonna be okay, we can figure out something else to warm up. And it was so interesting to see a different family approach conflict, because the way I grew up being that it was so hostile. So I don't know, it's just really interesting. But I think now I'm somebody who I mean, maybe even seeing, if you guys heard the story of the courthouse and stuff from yesterday, that might be kind of an indicator. I'm sort of somebody who's if I see something, especially if it's a close friend of mine, if I see something that I'm I don't know if this is good, I don't know if this is healthy or whatever, I will be the one to approach about a certain topic, hey, I heard you say this before, or how are you doing here or whatever. I will kind of if I see that there is some potential withholding or whatever, I'll try to help talk about it and whatever, because I don't know, I think now I've sort of seen it's best to try, and again, if you can't, if the person's unwilling, then you've done your best. You've done what you could. But like I told, I do remember mentioning this in Puck's stream, that one of my biggest pet peeves, and I think this is like a big thing for conflict. If you are somebody who is engaging in conflict, I think it's important to approach it as though I am trying to help and I'm here to help. I think too many people say, hey, you're really bad at this. You should get better. Like, that's on you. Or like, you need to go do this. This is your problem. I'm not here to help you. I've done my job by just bringing it up to you. I don't think that's right. A lot of people do that, and it bugs me to no end when people do it. So like when I've approached people in trying to have some kind of more serious conversation or whatever, I am usually like, hey, I've noticed this thing, what's going on here, and we talk about it and whatever. I never say, okay, cool, like you need to go do this alone, like you need to go fix this or like address this or whatever. I am always like, I am here to help you. I will walk alongside you in this or whatever, because that's the way it should be, I think, is I'm not just here to tell people you're doing this wrong or you're doing this bad or this needs to change. It's more of like I am, I think it's about shouldering someone else's burden, not taking it on yourself fully, but being able to share that with them and kind of then be like, well, depending on what it is, it can, if it's something that they need help with, maybe guiding them to the right people or places, or it could be, I don't know, just you're making yourself available to them as a friend, because otherwise, I don't know. It's too often where people say, you've got to now deal with this on your own. I'm not going to help you. I played my part by telling you or by having this conversation, when I don't think that's where it should end most of the time. That's very interesting. There would definitely have been yelling in my house, followed by intense, uncomfortable silence that lasted for a long time. At one point, I don't think my parents spoke to each other for 10 years. They talked to each other through my brother and me. Yeah. That can be awful, for sure. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, this family, I think at some point I asked them about, like, how did they handle, like, when, this family has, two older sons and then a younger daughter, like a much younger daughter. I think she just finished high school, but, I kind of asked them, like, how they, like, what would they, as parents, what would they do for, like, conflict, or, like, if they had to handle, like, punishing one of the kids or whatever, like, what was their style? And it's, like, it was so far and away, from what I grew up with. And they're still married to celebrate their 46th anniversary. That's awesome. I think, that's excellent. This family, they, like, it sounds so bizarre, but honestly, it kind of fits them too. They're a very, like, I would say, cerebral family. They're very smart, bunch of smarty pants. They were like growing up, as their, boys are still, like, probably in elementary school or whatever, they would, like, if they did something wrong, they would sit them down, they would talk to them, they would never raise their voice or anything. I asked my friends if they had, like, ever experienced their, like, parents yelling at them, and they were like, I don't think so. Like, I don't remember any time that they've like yelled at us or anything, which was bizarre to me, because I was like, my parents yelled at me literally all the time. But they were like, yeah, they would just sit us down, explain to us kind of what happened, why we shouldn't do something like that, or like how we hurt somebody or whatever, would help us understand that. And then the parents would kind of leave them to think about it. The parents would then discuss between them and agree on a punishment for the kids, and then would explain that to them, and then punishment would happen. So like, you can't go play, or you can't do whatever, or you need to read this, or like you need to, sit and do homework or whatever. Like it was that's a foreign concept to me too. Yeah. So when I heard that, I was like, what? That was like, it's incredible. And I mean, if knowing the family, like I got to know them very well. It makes sense. Like you can see it in both how they treat each other as a family, as well as how the kids turned out and all that stuff. You can tell that they're like a very close, tight-knit family. It was actually, I mentioned, this was last year? Was this last year? Was it earlier this year? Time is so crazy. I guess it was this year. But I mentioned that somebody that I knew had passed away from COVID. It was actually the father of that family had passed away. He was just as gentle and kind as the wife, and they were both just incredibly, they were awesome people. She's still alive, but he was awesome. But like their whole family dynamic and all that stuff was like just it felt so bizarre because it was so different from what I had experienced. But I really appreciated the time that I had like spending time with their family, because it was just a very unique situation to see people handle conflict very well, be very intentional with conflict, and how they approach certain things. It was just very interesting. Back, made some hot dogs. Welcome back, Blue. We're still just been talking about families and conflict and all that sort of stuff. That's very sad. That's what I aspired to be as a parent if I had kids. Yeah, it was. It's very interesting, and that's why I was just thinking about it, because I don't know if you guys, I didn't even follow up if anybody had done the challenge that I gave a few weeks ago about complimenting somebody very intentionally. But on that list of character qualities that I posted in the announcement channel, in that file, the definition for gentleness, I think, is using the least force necessary. Meaning that a gentle person isn't somebody who is like meek, or like somebody who's weaker or is quiet or whatever. It's sort of like, if the situation calls for like a softer approach, you're very soft. But also if the situation calls for like a much more firm approach, you are as firm as needed to be, but not overly so. The mom of that family is incredibly gentle, and like I said, she when the soup bowl incident, or like other things that I had noted or had been there to see, she's just incredibly kind, never raised her voice, is very just like, intentional how she handles that. But also, she is also somebody I know who encountered a bear, and she was running with some other girls. She does like cross country running, or like long distance running stuff. And so she oftentimes will just have like younger people kind of run with her to kind of train or whatever. And they were at a park in town and they came across a bear. The bear stood up on its hind legs, and she was sort of like, she told the girls to get back and was kind of like internally like, well, I guess if something bad happened, like if something bad happens, it might as well happen to me because I'm older and I've lived a good life. So she stood forward and she grabbed a stick off the ground and smashed it across the bear's face. And around that time, like about that time, a truck was driving by, and so all of them just hopped into the back of the truck, and the guy drove them further away from the bear. But she is like a very tough cookie, but also is again one of the like, so like she'll smash a stick on a bear's face, but she'll also be like, just so incredibly soft and kind and forgiving and showing of grace in moments that need it. So I don't know. I again, as somebody who grew up in a very like hostile home, it is nice to see people who exhibit proper conflict and really seek out like the good in the situation. I developed a major pet peeve of being talked at, for sure. That's totally understandable. Yeah, that's no fun at all. I've been thinking about that list a lot, but haven't found a way to put into words of what I'd want to say. That's fair. Be big, jacket overhead, intimidate back. Oh, is that for fighting, or not fighting bears, but yeah. If you're encountering a bear, yes, that is what you're supposed to do. I don't think they had any jackets though, because they were all like in running gear. So I think it was, they didn't really have much option. And I don't know who the other girls were, but she's pretty tiny. So I'm sure it was just that kind of situation. It might work for childhood trauma too. Yeah, that's also a good point. Just do that. What was I gonna say? But yeah, so I think also another, I know no one's asking necessarily, but another point to kind of remember, if you are experiencing conflict or about to have one, go into it with the mindset of it's not, there is going to be a winner, right? Some people approach a fight or an argument or a conflict with either I'm going to win or you're going to win. It should be not that. It should be, how are we going to resolve this together? And so you use conflict as a way to help to understand what the other person is thinking. So seek to understand in conflict. Seek to understand the other side in hopes that they will also, in return, listen to you and hear you explain your side, so that then you can come to an agreement together, some kind of resolution. If one party is not able to do that, then you're not going to have like good conflict. You're not going to be able to have a good conversation, because it has to be something where you're working together. Either, or it's going to end up being like one of those situations where if one side is winning or losing or whatever, it's just going to keep building until it blows up much later, right? I love that we can have these conversations. Yeah, I do too. I really enjoy having this type of talk, for sure. Is this another jet stream therapy session? It might be. That's okay. I like it. But I don't know. I heard a long time ago, I think sort of around the time that my opinion on conflict started to change, was somebody described it as, they used a metaphor and they're like, conflict is like a machete or something like that. Maybe they said a sword, but we're going to say machete. They were like, conflict is like a sword. It can either be used as like a weapon in which to hurt somebody, or it can be used as a tool. So like, in the case of like it can either be used to hurt somebody, or a tool such as like I think machete kind of works, because you see people like trekking through the jungles, hacking away at branches or whatever to clear a path or whatever. So you can either use conflict as a way to have you win or try to hurt somebody. A lot of people will say hurtful things in conflict and whatever, or it can be used as a tool and hopefully paving a good way to either have a better relationship or better friendship or better whatever. It's nice to get other people's opinions on these things. I'm thinking of how I might be able to use this in the classroom to help the kids learn how to be better at conflict resolution. Yeah. That's good. I think a lot of media oftentimes shows conflict as like a you win or I win type of deal. And I want to be the one who wins, right? It's kind of like a competitive thing almost. But yeah, it should be approached as something you guys are doing together. It's not a, it should be not a, like, we're facing each other head to head. It's like a, I'm next to you kind of deal. We're side by side trying to walk through this. Mother-in-law is actually pissing me off. Feels like she's picking on my daughter. Yeah, I get she lost some spoons, but I specifically went out and bought her more than what was lost, but that doesn't seem to stop it. Yeah, that seems real petty and unhelpful. Seems like if it's already been replaced and all that kind of stuff, it kind of seems like, it seems unnecessary. Because yeah, that's no fun. Especially if there's been any kind of like, if there's been Brad, thank you so much. There he goes.
Welcome back, Sky Pirates.
7 months, one for each letter of Stegen.
Stegen. Brad, thank you so much for the 7 months. I appreciate, my friend. I hope your meeting was going well. We're talking about conflict and stuff. I was gonna say, Blue, that especially if there's been any kind of like offer of forgiveness from her, like if the daughter apologized or whatever and she says that she forgave her, if she's continually bringing it up, then it's sort of like then it's like it's clear that she hasn't, right? Because I think true forgiveness is not necessarily forgetting, but it is saying, I'm not going to like use this against you in the case of something like this, which I would say in the grand scheme of things might be pretty small. It's like, I'm not going to use this against you. So if you're like, if she's constantly bringing it up and picking on the daughter for this still, then it's like, seems like she's still unresolved about it, which that honestly could just be something on her. I don't know. It sounds like you guys have done what you should, but maybe she needs to be, maybe that's something that needs to be addressed, but I know that's not fun. I know that's not like a good conversation. Or it's not a fun conversation to approach. We deal with a lot of intentionality, and we deal with a lot of intentionally trying to either get another student into trouble or make them feel bad. So this is giving me some ideas of how I could help with those situations. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's tough, and I feel like that's good. Like starting the kids early on, like that is interesting because people's version of conflict is usually formed at home, and we don't really oftentimes realize, especially those who are experiencing bad conflict, like the home that I grew up in. I didn't necessarily, this may sound like a dumb statement, I didn't necessarily realize people had good conflict and that there was a way to, right? Because I just never experienced that. So I just thought, oh, everyone's parents shout at them at home, or like you know, again, we won't go into the specifics of my upbringing, but it's still like it as a kid, especially, you kind of just start to, whatever you grow up in is kind of like what you start to imagine is the status quo or the normalness. And so, I don't know, I think it's good. Oof, I was just talking about internal conflict. At work. Someone getting in trouble. Automots sent my message, but signed my message, but yeah, she doesn't forgive. Yeah, then that's, I mean, seems like, I don't know, that's tough. That's very tough. You know, and so I can imagine if you're like, kind of what you said before, of like, kind of not wanting to cut ties necessarily, but like distance yourself, because, you know, at some point you've done what you could, and so, like, yeah, I don't know. It's if that wasn't enough, then I don't know. I don't think you have to do more. You don't have to keep trying to, you know, grovel or make the person feel better or whatever. That's definitely on them to do that, but that's tough. It's no fun. Yeah, I don't know much of my students' home lives, but just want to do what I can to try and show them a better way. That's awesome. Yeah, no, totally. Forget, but don't forget. Yeah, I just said that a little bit ago. Like, forgiveness isn't forgetting. I feel like, honestly, forgiveness, I feel like people say that just because it's a pithy phrase, but I feel like there's actually, I think the times that I have felt closest to somebody is if I did something that they forgave me for, and knowing that they have not necessarily forgotten, but they still, like, care about me or whatever. Like, even beyond that, I feel like there's actually a bit of, there's a bit more warmth to that, even knowing that they were willing to forgive me, but then also still, like, invest in a friendship or whatever. I don't know. I feel like there's actually there's kind of more weight to that, in my opinion. There's way more to it. Yeah, for sure, absolutely. Context is important too. Are they asking for forgiveness for you or for them? Or as the Ninja Turtles say, forgiveness is divine, but never pay full price for a cold pizza. So true. So true. Gosh, but yeah, so some people are much better at having conflict or addressing certain things, and it takes practice. I know that doesn't sound like a fun thing to do, but it really does. When I first started kind of intentionally having a little bit more conflict and, like, addressing things with people instead of just, like, pushing it under the rug or whatever, I would get very nervous. I'm kind of a shaky person in general, but I would kind of get, like, kind of shaky a little bit, because I think I was just afraid, because growing up, people would say very hurtful things, or, like, would just try to hurt you. I think that's kind of the environment that I grew up in. If in conflict, it seemed like their goal was just to try to hurt you. So anytime I would have conflict with a friend, starting off, I was like I am, my rug is leaking because you're sweeping so much stuff under it, right? That emote's so perfect, though. I loved it. So, like, I would just get afraid, even if it was, like, with a really good friend who had no intention to hurt me or whatever, I would still be like, oh gosh, like, this is going to be the end all. Like, I guess the friendship's over. We're never gonna come back from this. And I don't know. Luckily, I had I think a lot of really good friends who are also willing to face things and address stuff and that sort of thing. And also, luckily, they allowed me to fail. I did not have good conflict initially. And so, like, there'd be times where I would talk to them, and then afterwards have to be like as I looked back and thought about the conversation, I would then have to approach them later and be like, hey, just FYI, I need to apologize because of what I said here, or like how I handled this. I'm still trying to get better at having good conflict, and I don't think this is necessarily the right way. I should have handled this a little bit better. And I think that's sort of also the humility and approach you need to have to dealing with conflict is like, again, it's not trying to be like, I win or you win. It is like, we're both trying to, let's get to a resolution together. Let's get to a point where I understand you a lot better now, you understand me a lot better now, and we can move together. I'd much rather someone confront me about things if I've done something to upset them instead of bottling it up until they explode. Yeah, and because that's a lot of people do that, and I was kind of that way growing up. BRB lurk amend therapy good, but can have too much good. That's fair. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sometimes. I think growing up, I was very much like that, where I kind of just bottled things. Granted, I don't think I ever exploded. It was more of just like I internally fizzled. I just stuffed it down. Yeah, I don't know. And again, I was like very much a people pleaser, so I wasn't trying to like. I thought like if I make anyone upset or anything like that, that it would be very, you know. Or what I dealt with more often was people discussing the issue with everyone but me. Oh yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, do not like that. That's when it's like it's that would be like bordering kind of like gossip sort of. Not a big fan of that. And that's the thing is I often, that's the worst. Yeah, I often tell people like, hey, I sometimes don't pick up on if I'm doing something that's annoying to somebody or that's bothersome or whatever. So I usually have to tell people, just tell me, because oftentimes if I'm doing something that's bothering you, that's not my intention. So just let me know, and then we can figure that out. You know, I can figure out if they're just misunderstanding something, or if I'm doing something wrong or whatever. We can work together to, you know, like help me understand. Because sometimes I'm just kind of slow. Sometimes it's harder for me to just pick up on that, you know, accidentally doing something. So I don't know. Yeah, I just tell people, just tell me. I work really well with very bold people. Because again, I am somebody who I've become more bold, I think, as time has gone on, but my tendencies are to not be. That's like just my natural state is how I grew up, very kind of passive, I think. And so but I honestly work well with very kind of blunt, bold people, because I don't have to like worry about like what they're thinking or anything. If they I know that if they tell me I'm doing something wrong or they don't like something, I love that, because then I can be like, oh, perfect. I can address that. I can do that. Because it would turn into me versus everyone instead of the issue between me and this one other person. Yeah, totally. Totally. Gosh. Yeah, people are kind of the worst sometimes when it comes to that. I had a friend who we're no longer friends, but I had an acquaintance now, who we were pretty good friends actually for quite a bit, but their way of like handling conflict was super dumb, and I hated it. And it was that instead of talking to me about something, they would screenshot like either a text of mine or like a message of mine or whatever, and then they would send it to other people kind of like in the friend group and just kind of like talk negatively about that, I guess, and about me. And that was their way of like dealing with it, I guess. And yeah, that was when I learned about that, I was like, this is literally the most high school thing. This is you're not in high school. This is all post-college people, like I think probably late 20s, upper 20s. And I was like, this is the most childish thing. just don't do this. So I was like, I mean, that's fine. Like, if you're not wanting to be friends with me, that's totally fine. Let's just make this easier for all of us. But yeah, that person didn't know how to have conflict, and instead thought that was like the best way to just never address anything, never try to talk about it, but just kind of, I don't know, like seek validation maybe from other people, but still, again, never wanting to talk or chat about it. I just think that's dumb. You should, especially if you're friends with somebody, you should be willing to have the conversations if you really care. I think that is kind of where I've started to draw the line, is like, or the reason why I've sought out, not sought out conflict. That sounds like I'm making it and then like like just having conflict for the sake of having it. That's not what I mean. But rather, like, if I see that there's a conversation that needs to happen, going ahead and having it is because yeah, I think in my head I'm like, I can in a way show them that I really care by having this conversation with them and being upfront with them, instead of bottling it and then or talking to it about someone else and then like talking bad about this person or whatever. There's way to have, you know, tougher conversations in a way that they feel cared for. It just takes work kind of getting there. I cut a friend off after she sent her BFF her BF after me. The drama escalated quickly and I noped out of that friendship. Yeesh. Yeah, that sounds awful. That does not sound good. She's the boyfriend that they like. Is it boyfriend, best friend? Did they just talk to you? Like, sent them after you to like. Wait, really? Cops got involved with the whole thing? What? Sassy, that's crazy. Dang. Yeah, that's probably a good friendship to nope out of. That's probably a good move. That was a smart move there. Because, yeah, that does sound crazy. Oh no, he tried to... What? He tried to drive me off the road, egged my car? Goodness. Yeah, that's, Speaking of unhealthy ways to have conflict, that definitely seems like, you know, that seems like at least top 2. Left threatening messages in my aunt's. Wow, that's crazy. Like, actually, though. I don't, like, not just, not saying that as like that's wild, but really that's crazy that they went that far. Gosh. That's one of those, like, if that's how they handle any kind of conflict or whatever, you know it's gonna be bad. You know there's trouble. Tried to get the rest of our friend group to cut me off. That's awful. Yeah, some people can be very manipulative and kind of vindictive like that. And again, that's one of those things that's like, It's not helpful. They're that obviously they're like, that's one of those, I'm trying to make people think I'm in the right, or conflict is that I'm right, you're wrong, that whole thing. Granted, I don't know the situation, but still, that sounds, lots of red flags there for sure. I don't know. Thankfully, my bestie didn't fall for it, and we've been besties for 33 years. That's awesome. I do love that. We love a good best friend. But yeah, conflict can be tough. And she's the best. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so glad. That's good. Having a good friend like that is, and a loyal one is huge. Always a big fan. I feel like when I look for friends, I feel like the qualities I look for are usually, you know, loyalty, or, you know, that kind of stuff. Because why have a fair weather friend when you can have a friend that's, you know, I always loved. It's like a play, I think, or book. I think it's a play, but it's called A Man for All Seasons. I was like, I want to be described like that. Somebody who's there, no matter the weather, no matter the season of life. You know, being there for friends. That's kind of also why I'm a little like smaller groupie, sort of. Like I think it's much more manageable that way. I'd rather have one really awesome bestie, as I do, than a million people who are just really only friends on paper. Agreed. Or friends when it suits them. Yeah, totally. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's interesting. But I agree. And I think when you find, I feel like when you, especially if you can find a friend that you can have fun with and laugh with and all that stuff, but then also have like good conversations with and have deeper discussion or even like conflict with, and you both emerge out of it like better, that's like, hold on to those friends, hold on tight, because I don't know, it's very rare. I think I think it's very rare to sort of do that. But gosh, yeah, conflict and resolution and all that stuff is, I think, super important for people to learn. It can be tough because usually in order to then practice that, you're sort of like, you're not having necessarily good times. But again, the ability to, I don't know. I guess if there was anything I would say, you guys, you know, if there was something that I wanted you guys to remember as you like from this conversation, it would be, it's okay to have conflict. 2, when approaching conflict, it's not you versus them versus you. It is how can we do this thing together? How can we move forward together? What was the other thing I was going to mention? Seek to understand. So, again, taking the time to ask them questions, try to understand their view. Hopefully, if they're also willing to have good conflict, hopefully they will allow you to explain things, but like seek to understand them on their side, hear them out, before, don't interrupt them, that kind of thing. Really try to hear them out, and then hopefully, again, they will hear you out as well, and then from there try to move on to where something is like beneficial for both of you, where you can work together, because otherwise, you know, I don't know. I think those are some key things about conflict, I guess. This is, I'm going to end up watching this VOD again to take some notes. This is a great conversation. Good. I hope so. I hope we can have good combos like this. I like good combos. I like quality time. I'm a big quality time person, and then also like I think as a subcategory, like a good quality conversation person as well. I like having the that kind of stuff, as well as, again, over time I've sort of learned to have. I've always enjoyed deeper conversations, but I think over time I've learned to enjoy and like deeper, tougher conversations, I guess. And so that's why I'm usually willing to have them with friends and hopefully find a solution that's like, I don't know. I mean, not a solution, because like even you can have a deep, tough conversation and not be like conflict, but like, I don't know. Again, I as I said before, making sure that they know that it's like, I am here to help. Like, I will help shoulder some of this with you. No, again, not fully for you, because it's, you can't take everything on, but rather I am here to, be alongside you. Then I don't know. I think that's a good approach to have, because if you see it as head on, it can be tough. I remember even hearing, like, I've mentioned this body language book that I read a long time ago. That's been kind of helpful over the years. But one of the things they mentioned was where you sit in a meeting can even like affect the mood or like the opinion of what someone has or anything. So like, for example, if you're having a meeting, let's say it's a one-on-one, if you are sitting directly across from each other, it is more like adversarial in discussion. It is more of like a you versus me type of setup. In a general sense. Again, there's a lot of context and stuff, but if you then sit, like, if it's at a corner of a table, let's say it's like a rectangle or a square, if you sit on corner sides, you can kind of help the person feel like we are doing this together. Like, we're working on this side by side or together. Well, it's about that time. I took a nap earlier, so that's why I'm up late. Emmers, I hope you have a great night. Be around on Fridays for some big news. I'm excited to tell you guys. Thank you for hanging out. I hope you have a good day at work tomorrow. I'm still working on how to have those conversations myself, so hearing someone else's thoughts about how to approach it is very helpful. Oh, good. I hope so. Have a good night, Emma. Emmers, I hope you have a good one. Thanks for hanging out. Yeah, it's tough. And again, I did not learn how to have conflict in a day. It took me, and it's still a learning process. I still get a little nervous. I think there's a part of me that is still very like, my parents were very like, again, kind of like how I mentioned, they're sort of like, they would kind of just say things that were very hurtful during conflict, for the purpose of they wanted to hurt you. And so I guess I just sort of like, I tied together mentally, not even like not intentionally, but I just equated in my mind like, when you have conflict, the person is either gonna like either, I don't know, it was very much, conflict was kind of tied to love, sort of, in a way. Like, if we're having this conflict, it is because they no longer love me, or I'm doing something wrong, there's something wrong with me, blah 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 blah, which is not correct. That's not what should happen, etc. And so there can still be a little bit of that, like, that resides inside of me, because that was just so like ingrained in me as growing up. But I've so again, like, it's a process of learning and trying to unlearn some things. But nowadays I feel like I try to have that conflict to then do the opposite, right? So like I said, having that conflict to show somebody, no, I do love you, and I want to. I'm having this because I want like resolution, like I want us to be better or whatever, you know, that kind of thing. Back, daughter asks about Doctor Who history and all the doctors, so I had to explain to her what I know. Oh gosh, 84 years later. That sounds like, I know that can be a long topic, so that's awesome. I actually have never, I've only watched a few episodes of Doctor Who. I've only watched the episodes with the Weeping Angels. A friend was like, you should watch these, and so we watched, like, we like skipped seasons and stuff. Classic Who is more straightforward. New Who, confusing as heck. I bet. I bet. Timey-wimey stuff. Gilmore just said that, you know. And Gilmore, by the way, is a big Doctor Who fan. Anyway, I appreciate you guys talking about, you know, tougher stuff. I watched one episode of Doctor Who and noped out of that show. I wonder which one you watched. And not that I would know. Like, I don't know. I did like the Weeping Angels episodes. Those were very good. Those were very well done. But yeah, thank you guys for having, you know, that type of conversation, because with the skin lady, that sounds awful. Skin is like a descriptor of the person, never sounds good. Skin man, skin lady, skin gentleman, it just doesn't, even if you say gentleman, it doesn't, you know, there's no version of that I like. But yeah, thanks for chatting, thanks for sharing, everybody. I do enjoy this type of conversation. I love topics like what's the word, like interpersonal stuff. I think that's really fascinating and interesting, because people do and learn things very differently, and again, it's usually based on kind of like how you grew up and if you had people who modeled certain things well for you or didn't. It's very fascinating. So I enjoy them too. Good. I also love just talking about, you know, friendships and things, and it's just fun times. I like deep conversations like that. I can be pretty good with having just kind of general, you know, kind of light topics, but I get very invested in this type of conversation, because I don't know. I don't think a lot of people don't necessarily talk about it very often, unless you're Brad and you just had a meeting on conflict. But I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily talk about that kind of stuff. And I've learned, I don't know if this is clear. I'm a verbal processor. And so a lot of times it takes me, I need to sort of speak something out in order to kind of fully like experience it almost. Like I need to, in order to kind of clear my head or kind of grasp what I feel about something, I need to verbalize it in some way. Sometimes even writing it down helps me, because I'm still kind of verbalizing it in a way. It's just I'm putting it from thought to paper. I don't know. Stuff like that, I think it helps me. So I hope it is beneficial to you all and helpful to you all. If it's not, then I apologize, but thank you all for hanging out with me. I do appreciate. We can play for a little bit more, and then probably I don't know. We'll just see what happens. That sounds fun, Blue. That sounds like just a wonderful time. I feel like I kind of see Doctor Who almost like what's that anime? They're making a live action out of it. Pirate anime. He's a pirate, right? Am I making it up? Why isn't it one of the top suggestions? What am I thinking of? What is it? It's showing me a picture of him, and I can't. One Piece, goodness. I feel like Doctor Who, I sort of have the same, like, I kind of categorize it almost like One Piece, where there are too many episodes now. I don't think I'll ever really get into it, because I know there's just so much to watch. I'm anticipating nightmares again tonight. Cassandra is the flying teacher in HP. Oh, really? Cat-faced cat-faced meowmers. That is in Wizard People, dear reader. The narrator calls her cat-faced meowmers, which now is my canon name for her. So I don't think that's her name in Harry Potter, but. Pucks, how are you? Hooch? That's her name. How are we, folks? I'm doing good. Well, Pucks, you missed a little bit of a story. I made an oopsie today. I made an oopsie today. But I'm doing good, though, despite it. By the way, friends, Puck streams. Go follow him. He's lovely. We love him. I'm a big Puck stan. Big Puck stan. Can I sit down? I'm just gonna sit down for a bit. Since we're here. Oops. There we go. I'm a big Puck stan. Still waiting for my t-shirt to arrive. Kind of. Sassy's not necessarily wrong. Also, I should do the other shout out just in case. You know, in case it's easier for you all. Here, let me do it. Iron Pucks. There you go. I didn't get the oopsie, but I've been lurking the last little while. Oh, slowly becoming human over coffee. Oh, man. I get that. I totally get that. Yeah, we talked about the oops early on. I'll catch you up. Follow Pucks or else I got nothing. In lieu of t-shirts, you get stream badges. Look, we're gonna talk about shirts. We're gonna talk about shirts mostly because I want a shirt. I need some kind of Pucks merch. If you're not following Pucks, banned. Seriously, wait a minute. Where's my why aren't the emotes showing up? Oh, that was there. Banned wasn't though? Or any of the BTTV emotes? Oh, it is. I just didn't see it. It did. Okay, it just went by. Lurk for the evening. Bye everyone. Get back to the game. I won't. I probably won't, honestly. Brad, thank you for the lurk. Have a good night. I hope you have a good one, my friend. I flew off to one side. Yeah, sometimes that happens. The long story short, Pucks, is that I mentioned to you that I told you what happened about like the jurors and stuff and how they were talking about the case, right? And that I called the office to say, hey, right, I said I was a narc. I called myself a narc. That I called the office and said, hey, there's this, that, or the other that's happening. Nice try with that NJet. Though I still have to do this. I really need to update this so that it's like, it goes back to the normal thing. Get these out of here. Cuckoos, away. The long story short is that I was supposed to go to the courthouse early before everyone got there in order to talk to the judge and the attorneys. Well, I seem to have left my phone on focus mode, which silenced all notifications and alarms. And I woke up about 2 hours late. And so I was supposed to be there at around, no, I guess I was supposed to be there at 9. I woke up at 10 something. So an hour-ish late. Probably 2 hours from the point that I wanted to wake up in. But, so I was over an hour late for the meeting. And if you can imagine this scenario where the day before I have called the courthouse to report something to them. The next day, I just completely missed the meeting. That seems weird. Well, I woke up and I checked my phone. I have 5 missed calls from the courthouse. They've left messages each time. They're trying to get a hold of me. I'm like, they think I'm dead. Like, they honestly think something happened to me. The military anxiety in me knows this horror of waking up like, why is there sun? Why is there sun? That actually, I woke up to, because I didn't hear my alarm, I woke up to like just light pouring in from the window. So it was like, what year is this? Did you wake up late, like in the military, much? So here's the deal though, is that I just called back. I just clicked on the first number that last called me, and I'm expecting to hear I don't know, I can't remember what her position is, but she's like she's not a secretary, but she's like a clerk, sort of like the office of the judge or whatever. I'm expecting to hear from her because she's the one I've been talking to. I answer the phone and it's this guy's voice, and he kind of like, I can't understand him. Part of it's because I just woke up, but it's like kind of mumbly, and I didn't hear. And he's like, "Is this Jet?" And I say, "Who's this?" Because part of me was then like, oh, maybe I accidentally called back like a scam caller, because that happens sometimes. Like, I get called from scam callers. I was like, wait, who is this? And they're like, is this Jet? And I was like, I'm sorry, I just woke up. Who is this? And they were like, this is Alaska State Trooper, so-and-so. I've been tasked with, a wellness check for Jet. I'm actually currently on the way to the residence. And I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I'm so sorry. No. One, I was like, it's me. This is me. You're talking to Jet. 2, I just woke up. I am so late. I was supposed to get to the courthouse like hours ago. I am so late. I am so sorry. I am on my way. I'm gonna call the office. And so I called immediately after that. I called the office. I called the other number. I realized, oh, there are 2 numbers here. Called the other number. Wait, secret. Adam's family joke that I can't think of because it's Wednesday. Secret, how's it going? I hope you're having a great day. If you would like a pistol, please go ahead and punch your screen on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wabam. I'm just telling everyone about the oopsie that happened today. Too many crime shows where something happens to a juror, right? Only a couple times right near the end where, oh, hold on, let me fix this. Because I'm sitting at the bar. There we go. There we go. Only a couple of times right near the end when I was on my way out. That was due to new meds, though they were that were made to make me sleep. Still felt super grim to sleep in. There's a lot of deeply ingrained anxiety. I bet. I kind of feel that way about naps, actually. Even though I say I love naps, I do love naps. But growing up, my family did not approve of naps. And so if you were caught napping, they would just start yelling at you in like full voice, full yell. And so I kind of I sort of have this anxiety of, if anyone has found me napping ever, I usually like wake up in a panic sort of, and I'm like, I wasn't napping. And they're like, you can nap, it's okay. But now I've just come to enjoy naps. Tell me about this, Oopsie. Oh, it's the long story short is that yesterday I had to report something to the courthouse on 2 jurors, and so they asked me to come in early in the morning to talk to them and talk to the judge and the attorneys. I woke up and 2 hours later than I was supposed to wake up, an hour late for the meeting. They had been calling my phone and leaving voicemail. I had my phone on like focus mode on my iPhone, and so I had all of my notifications were just like auto silenced, and so I didn't hear. They called an Alaska State Trooper to come to my residence to do a wellness check. I called him right as he was on his way. And yeah, and so the situation though is bad because if you can imagine it this way, I called the courthouse the day before to report something about 2 of the jurors, and then the next day not only do I miss my meeting, but I'm not answering my phone. Like I explained this earlier, but there's really only 2 options. Either I've been murdered, I got, or I'm having second thoughts or regrets about telling them or whatever, and now I'm trying to evade the courthouse. Like there's really like no positive spin on this. It just looks bad all the way around. So anyway, so after I called and I was talking to the Canadian Jet, how are you? I'm glad you didn't got. Thank you. Honestly, same. That's awful, Jet. Yeah, it was rough. That's why I've told you guys I'm not close to my family. We have not talked in a decade plus. So we're, I don't really have that familial unit thing, and that's because it was just awful. So, but Canadian Jet, welcome in. How are you? Moida, kidnapping or evasion. There are the only options. We have another Jet. Yeah, the Canadian Jet we've met from Punch Lasers. What did I come in on? I feel like I need to say sorry without even. Oh, no. You're totally good. You're totally good. If I don't answer my phone, it's dead because its battery is pretty crap. No. I don't usually answer the phone from strangers anyways, but this situation was just terrible because I had just reported something. So to them, it's like our juror is dead. So that's why they called an Alaska State Trooper to see if I was okay. But the long story short, I was catching up pucks. The long story short, one, because we have some new people here. One, if you're not following Iron Pucks, you should be. We love Pucks. Been hanging out with him. Can I give him another one of these? I can. Look, perfect. Go drop him a follow. He's awesome. Anyway, so. I called the courthouse office after I got off the phone with the Alaska State Trooper, and I told them, hey, I'm so sorry. I just woke up. I apologize. I'm so late for the meeting. I was like, what do I do? What do I need to do? And they were like, okay, can you come down to the courthouse now? And I was like, yes, I can be on my way. I just need to take a shower real fast. She said, just throw on a hat. I said, and then she was like, actually, scratch that. You can't wear hats in the courthouse, or in the courtroom. So, just take a quick shower and then come down. I know, that's why I said we're like neighbors. It's such a wild story. I'm glad you didn't wake up to a state trooper banging on the door, and then you would have really completed the military horror show. Actually, honestly, I am so glad that they didn't get to the apartment, because I would have also just been completely, I don't know. I would have been so scared. Wait, you didn't know that I was from Alaska? I feel like we've made jokes. I think that we've made jokes of our neighbors, but I guess technically, like, even if you lived in the lower 48, your neighbor. But I don't. It's different. Alaska's, side by side. Long story short, too late. I get to the courthouse. They put me in a different room from everyone, and then they call me into the courtroom. They asked me questions about what I had called in to report to them, and they it was like on the record. They this was in front of the judge, the attorneys. The jury was not in there. But like the plaintiff and the defendants there were a couple people sitting in the little audience area. So I had to answer a bunch of questions on the record. I told them what I told them about called about the jurors before. Then they, afterwards so they asked me if, for those that weren't around, basically I had heard some of the jurors talking about the case, which you're not supposed to talk, even with the jurors, you're not supposed to tell people like, oh, I'm leaning this way or the other, or I'm doing this. You're not supposed to talk about it until the case is done. I overheard a couple jurors kind of talking about it very specifically, and so there had been like comments throughout the week, but like this was like way more clear about like, I'm gonna go this way kind of deal. And so that's why I called to tell them. So I told them all that, and they asked me if hearing that, or if would that affect my impartiality? And I said no. And even the judge kind of said, which was affirming, she was like, I feel like the fact that you even came forward and brought this to our attention kind of shows that you are pretty dedicated to being like, impartial in this case and whatever. And so that was good to hear. I profusely apologized at the end of it. I was like, I am so sorry for being late. I know this is literally the worst day that it could have happened. And I am so sorry. And she was like, it's fine. It happens. We're just glad you're okay and whatever. And I was like, thank you. But they took me back to the jury, and I was a little nervous because I thought that they had been I thought they just moved on with the trial without me. But I get into the room, they were like, there you are. And I was like, I am so sorry. I was like, I just got here like 10 minutes ago. Yeah, I woke up late. They had to call a state trooper and stuff. Like, it was intense. They told me that all morning long, they had been calling the jurors into the courtroom one by one to interview each of them. So they didn't even just interview the two people. They interviewed all. We have 15 currently, or we had 15. And so they interviewed one by one all 15 jurors, talk to them about stuff. We were told not to like tell each other what we said in there, like what they asked us, all that kind of stuff. But by the end of it, after I sat down for a few minutes, we were there for like a couple minutes. They called back separately. They called the two people that had been talking about the case, and they excused them. And so now we are down to 13 jurors. There's supposed to be 12. So there is one extra juror currently, and I think we found out who it is because she has like a trip She has like a flight that she has to catch later this week, and so I believe that means I'm going to be on the jury. So I don't know what the schedule is going to be like for the next few days. I don't know how long it's even going to go. Could just be a day. Could just be Friday. But by the way, Friday, big announcement here on the stream. So if you guys should be here on Friday for a big announcement. And declared a mistrial on the spot. Yeah, well, I mean, that's the danger of it, is that they could have, but we were sort of, I guess everyone had said that even despite some talking, everyone was like committed to staying impartial and all that sort of stuff. But they got rid of the 2 other jurors. So yeah, I'd be expecting you to get it to Brutade. That's honestly, I kind of was like, what if they suspect me? The thing is that now I look even more suspicious because I showed up late, because I wasn't there in the morning and I showed up late to it. I was like, this, like, if I were the people who were excused, I would be like, it was probably that guy. I would be suspicious of myself. But if you're on your jury duty now, should you really be... Oh, so we're not sequestered. If we were sequestered, that'd be a different story, but no. Yeah, no. So no mistrial. They actually told us that, and this was good, because yesterday I felt very like, yesterday I felt very, like, I know I did the right thing, but... yeah, so it's not that big of a, I mean, it's a murder, but like so I think I would say that's big, but it's not like what am I trying to say? It's not like a high profile case, I don't think. So that's why we don't have to be separated or anything from it. They told us, the judge said when they brought us all in, they told us, hey, we excuse these 2 people. That's the importance of, like, you guys cannot be telling each other, like, things about the case or how you feel about evidence or how you feel about a witness or anything. You guys cannot be, like, influencing each other in that way. The only time you guys can talk about that is once you've gotten to deliberations. So, because they said the problem is that, like, let's say they found out about this later, or like, had I not said anything, and then let's say the defense or the state or whatever, they learned that we had been talking about stuff, or that a couple of people. Oh, what? Have we been? Where did the game go? Hold on. Booting it back up. So if they had learned, it's possible that then, like, either party could have appealed. You know, they could have appealed the whole thing. So it's good that this came up now, because it could have been a lot worse later. Could have been a big problem later. So. Right, exactly. It wasn't a it's not like a serial killer or anything like that. Am I a joke to you? Are we playing a game? Weird. I didn't know. I thought Coffee Talk was just like an animated background. Is that not what it is? It's weird. You broke it. I do have a PS5. My community bought it for me, actually. That was Was it 2021? Yeah. Right? Or was it last year? Early last year? I don't remember, but my community bought me a PS5. It was incredible. Yeah, I do. Yeah, they're amazing. I really do. I really do have a nice community. It'd be within the year. Okay, yeah. So it was last year. It was last year then. There's a clip, actually. It's on our featured clips of when they sent it to me. they like planned and plotted it together. It was right around your second anniversary. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. The PS5 is just the most elaborate process to getting lo-fi tunes. Actually true though. Thank you for my lo-fi machine, everybody. That's a joke, by the way. I use it so much. I've used the PS5 like so much. We funded it during the stream. That's right. So they did it all in the background though. They didn't tell me, and then they sent it to me, and it was so funny because Emmers, one of our mods, she was like, "Hey, I'm sending you something." I was like, "Cool, okay, I can open it on stream or whatever." And so it came in, and I think I was like, "Well, it's kind of late, so maybe we'll open it tomorrow." And everyone was like, "No, open it now, open it now." And I was like, "Okay." And so then I got on stream, and it was so funny because I got on stream and like everyone was there at the start, and I was like, okay, this is weird. I mean, we sometimes have like one or two people kind of at the beginning, like there to chat, and I was like, all right, this is odd. But it was a huge box, and I was like, weird. So I was just chatting with them for a bit, and at some point they were just like, open the box. They were starting to get mad. But then I opened it up, and it was a PS5, and also the Pulse HD headset. 2 controllers, a couple of games. They also sent me a Pontiac Aztec little car thing because I mentioned Pontiac Aztecs on my stream for a bit. I was wrong. The PS5 launched less than a year ago. It was launched November 2020. Okay, or more than a year ago. Time passes weird, actually true. Timey-wimey. We knew, and it took you forever to open it. Yes, Balto, also, my pal Balto texted me and was like, open the box. I was like, I will, I'm so sorry. I love chatting. You guys know I love chatting. But yeah, we've played some amazing games because there were so many games that I was like, I have this, like I owned Ghost of Tsushima, which is incredible, but I was like, I'm gonna wait until, because I had a PS4, a launch PS4, and I was like, I'm gonna wait until I have a PS5, I think, to play it, because I've heard it's such a beautiful game that I kind of want to get the full experience. And so there was like that and some other stuff that I was like, we'll just wait until we get a PS5. Yeah, they were like, they just did it, and I am still like, I don't know. It's still crazy to me when I like think about it, and I'm like, I have a PS5. It's because I'm just like, I don't know. It's crazy. I would probably still be trying to fund it myself, actually. If it wasn't for you all, we still would be like slowly putting $1 into my little piggy bank. $1 a day. It was so late for so many people, and they all just wanted to sleep. Yeah, that's why I was like, we'll just wait till tomorrow. It's fine. But everyone was just very excited to see me open it. But it was amazing. I love it. I have so I put together, so I have this pitch deck that I made, on my Webby site. We haven't looked at it on stream. Hold on. Let me show you this thing real fast. You guys have been to it, but hold on. Let me fix this. Okay, yeah. Can I scroll? I actually don't know how to do this. Hold on. Boop. Can I scroll in here? Down? Can I go down? How do I can highlight things. So if you go to jetpackpaul.com/streamer pitch deck, it'll take you to this page. I don't know if is there really no scrolling option on OBS? Anyway, it goes down further. What I was going to show you is that I have on there the clip where I was opening the PS5 because I have in there like my community is awesome and blah 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 blah. Here's something else that they did for me. But yeah, if you go to that, you can see it. But I created this because I've been getting like codes and stuff from devs, and or when I apply for a code for a game, I'll send also that. I'll give them a description of myself and like what I'll do to promote the game, but also I'll send them that like, if you want to learn more about me, here's kind of what you can expect. And so there's some stuff, there's some clips there and some other stuff. But I have a PS3, I have a PS2. Jet like, open the box. Nah, I chat. I have a PS none. I love that. Why does the what's in the box? What's in the box? I think we were chatting that in chat until he opened. Oh, chanting that in chat. Yeah, makes sense. How do you take such nice pics? I look like a beached whale in every pic I take. I don't know if I take good pictures of myself. There's very few that I maybe what it is that I take a lot of them and then I just choose the single one that looks okay. That I don't look, I like the absolute worst. I think that's what I do. Because I don't generally take very good. I can take good pictures of people. I did portrait photography. I can do a good job of like making someone's personality kind of shine in a photo, or like getting like highlighting kind of their best features. When I'm taking pictures of myself, it is not excellent. It is not great. It's not a good experience for anybody. So I don't take many pictures of myself in general. Not a big selfie person, but yeah, I don't know. I take a lot of them, and then I cut out my face, I put it on somebody else's body, and then I replace my face with their face, and then I just post that. I post that instead. Here's the thing about people, we are our own worst critic. That's fair. That's fair. But I don't know. I feel like I'm being realistic. I think because I don't know. I get aesthetics. I get aesthetics because as a designer and like I do like graphic design and that kind of stuff, but I also did portrait photography and that kind of stuff. I know when it's a good photo. There's a lot that's just, it's not good. It's not great. So, you know, we work with what we have, but sometimes what we have is subpar. I'm enjoying waking up to the test, but I've got to run and do some life things. Enjoy the life things, Pucks. Thanks so much for being here. We're going to be ending pretty soon anyways, but are you streaming tonight? Have you decided? Jet does design things good. Thanks, Pucks. I'm making some things for Pucks, and I'm very excited for all of it. We should work on a t-shirt thing or something also, because I need a t-shirt. I mostly want to do that just because I want a shirt or something, or a hoodie. I don't know. But if you're streaming tonight, I hope to catch a stream. But otherwise, I hope you have a great day doing the things. Go do your things. What else though? What was I gonna say? Definitely try to stream tonight. If I've got the time, I'll set up the couch stuff so I can just find something on the PS5 to chill to. Awesome. Dope, dope, dope. I low-key just want to introduce the dogs. Oh, you should. Puppers. I'm a fan of Jet Art. Yay. Thank you, Sassy. Go do the live stuff and things. Puppers streams. We'll figure something out. We'll figure it out. But Pucks, have a good one. I appreciate it. I'll catch your stream later. Yeah, I need to. I ate just very briefly before. Ate real briefly before stream, but I finished all of my tikka masala. No, I finished all of my tikka masala yesterday, so I need to figure out what I'm gonna eat for dinner. I don't know. Okay, so bye, Sassy and Blue. Have a great time zone, everyone. Pucks, have a good one. I left some chicken to defrost overnight, and I realized I don't think I should have done it the way I did. You're not supposed to leave frozen chicken out on the counter, right? You're supposed to, like, let it defrost in the fridge, yes? I think I made a boo-boo. And I'm not supposed to. I made multiple oopsies. I made multiple oopsies today. I don't think you're supposed to do that. I think that's like an easy way to get salmonella. So I feel like I should not have the chicken that I had defrosted. Yeah, don't eat that. Okay, yeah, that's my bad. Yeah, so I need to figure out what I'm gonna have for dinner because I now can't have that. So I don't know. I guess I could run to go get more chicken or something, but Blue will be going to sleep soonish. Yeah. We're gonna be ending. I just like hanging out in this coffee shop instead of the just chatting screen. This is the game screen is really also just a just chatting screen. We just don't know that yet. Because I mean, look, we've got lo-fi here. It's perfect. We've got coffee, we've got lo-fi. So yeah, I need to figure out what I'm gonna have for dinner. I don't know yet. We'll figure that out. So yeah, we might end here in just a minute. Maybe just see real fast. Whoops. That's not the right place. But you guys got anything exciting going on? Anything fun happening this evening or tomorrow? I have to go back into the courthouse tomorrow. Hopefully this time I feel a lot calmer. I feel like I'll be able to wake up just fine. I'm gonna make sure my phone's not on focus mode. We're gonna make good decisions. Sassy!
Oopsie, I just bought you a pizza.
Sassy! Sassy, thank you so much for the $35. If you're looking for a raid, Gizmo's like, I noticed that. I saw that. I was thinking about it. Sassy, thank you so much for the $35. I have one quick question for you. Frog or cat? Frog or cat, Sassy? Whoops. What? Wait. There we go. Sassy, Frog, I will 100% go get a pizza because that'll be so much easier. Thank you so much, Sassy, for the $35. You did not need to do that, but thank you. But you know that's dangerous. Oops. Oh, hold on. You know that's dangerous partially because my Steam Deck just crashed. But hold on, wait for it. It's loading back in. It might play all of your sounds again, just FYI. Wait for it. I just need OBS to connect to it. It's certainly taking its sweet time. Hold on. Wait, what? Why is it? Hold on. It broke again. Hold on. I'm going to close this out fully. Okay. Was falling asleep. Did you say Stream Deck or my Stream Deck? My Stream Deck keeps crashing. So the thing that holds all the buttons. So like we're going to need, I was about to use it for a thing. I was about to use my Stream Deck and now I can't. So now I'm just here in this corner real fast like an awkward person waiting for it to reopen. Hold on. This is important. I was afraid the donut wouldn't go through before you ended because it was taking forever to go through too. Oh no. Well, I'm glad that it did go through. Sassy, thank you so much. Hold on. We've got a thing to do. All right, hold on. Let's open back up. Let's see. Okay. Hold on. Twitch chat needs to connect. There we go. Think we have it all? All right. But Sassy, you know donating money can be, it's dangerous. Donating $10 or more can be a dangerous thing. Because, wait, oh no, I pushed the wrong button. Wait for, oh gosh. No, I pushed the wrong button. Wait, ignore all of this. Ignore all of that. Nothing happened. You need to end your day with something happy after the drama this morning. True, though. Okay. Sassy. You know that things are dangerous, though. Hold on. Because listen to all the songs. We listened to all the songs. We just got an achievement in the game. All right. I think this is the right button. Yes. Excellent. All right. Sassy, you know that is dangerous to gift over $10. It just crashed again. What? You know it's dangerous. Hold on, everybody. It's fine. We're having a good stream. You know it's dangerous. Because, hold on. It seems so dangerous. It is because look, the stream just keeps crashing. I told you this is what happens. Hold on. Boop. Boop. How's that look? Connect. Oh gosh, hold on. Wait for it. Okay. As soon as it works, I'm going to start it up. It's going to be real fast. This is the big gifter that never happened. No, it is going to happen. I believe. Okay, hold on. Oh, you guys can't hear music. I can hear music because of the game, I've just realized. We're just sitting here in silence. Love it. This is excellent content. Twitch Pups Up connected. Now we need main OBS to connect and Twitch chat to connect. Wait for it. Twitch chat connected. OBS, connect, please. Why isn't it working? I need everyone to believe. Everyone believe that this works. Because I'd say I'd never do it again, but that's a total lie. Oh my gosh, what is happening? Why did it... How do I get this to... Okay, it's connected. Yeesh. Okay. Says it's dangerous because... Wait.
Suddenly,
I did the wrong one.
things become quiet. Outside,
It just everything...
trees rustle and sway.
Hold on.
A breeze tugs at your hair as you feel the ground below you shake.
Anyway, lead on.
Oh, no.
Allons-y, but not too fast.
You know what it is. A big gifter.
It's not... I pushed the wrong one. So hold on. Sassy, you know this is dangerous because...
Suddenly, things become quiet. Outside, trees rustle and sway. A breeze tugs at your hair as you feel the ground below you shake. Oh no.
Oh no.
You know what it is.
What is it?
A big gifter.
A big gifter? What? We're totally not seeing this coming. Sassy! Thank you so much for the $35 for the pizza. I appreciate it so much. Thank you very much. You didn't have to do that at all, but I appreciate it. I will go get some pizza to satisfy my hunger. But thank you so much. Wait, oh, you know what? It crashed again. So that's why the number isn't going up. So, here, we're just gonna do this for you. I think we can just... There, we're gonna do it manually. It's fine. I don't know what's going on. It's all broke. It's all bork. But here you go, frogs. Look at all the frogs. Zazie, thank you so much. You didn't have to do this. First we had, you guys would have gotten it. First we had the big gifter. Now we have the big frog. So thank you so much, Sassy. I don't know what's going on with my stream deck. Just one of those days. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. And then I have to go over here. It won't do the ribbit part. And then, do I have it? Hold on.
Ribbit.
There you go. There we look. Wait. Right, because it wouldn't have known to turn that off. Anyway. This has been a good stream, everybody. This is peak content and stuff and things. But friends, thank you so much for being here. Sassy, again, thank you so much for the $35. So sorry that it wasn't working as it should. I don't know, I'll have to do something. I don't know what's wrong. It just kept on borking. Again. But thank you for hanging out, everybody. I really appreciate it. I enjoy hanging out with all of you, and and I appreciate just the lounges, the chats, etc. Thanks for talking about deep stuff today. I love chatting deep stuff. A perfect way to end the stream, right? I loved it. Good. I'm glad. I hope the chaos somehow added to it, you know? But all right, that is going to be today's stream. Let us go ahead and yeah, Gizmo's on. Let's just go over there. Let's go hang out with Gizmo. Go hang out over there. Friends, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. I don't have any kind of special message, so you can just throw some fist bumps in the chat once we get over there. But yeah, thank you for hanging out with me. Thanks for the lounges, thanks for the chats, and again, Sassy, thank you so much for $35. I will go get some pizza right after this. So thank you. Thank you. I've got to do some more work tonight. That's really about it. But no, at least I don't have to like cook anything. Have a wonderful night, Jen and chat. Friends, thank you again for being here. I will see you around. I hope you have an excellent evening, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.